just afraid of being attacked. Happens to the best of us. Don't ever forget what happened to that French actor. You know what I'm talking about? Juicy Smouillet. He's a very famous French actor. Y'all never heard of Juicy Smouillet? Juicy Smouillet is an actor from France. And he became famous on a show called Empire. One night, he was in Chicago late at night and was the victim he was the victim of a racist and homophobic attack. You see, Juicy Smouillet is gay and he is black, not just French. Oh, it was a crazy story. Apparently, when he was walking down the street late at night, two white men came out of the shadows with MAGA hats on, beat him up, put some bleach on him, and ran off into the night.
Bye, have a great time.
International news. And everybody was furious, especially in Hollywood. It's all over everybody's Twitter feed and Instagram page. Justice for Juicy and all this shit. The whole country was up in arms. It was talking about it all the time on the news. And for some reason, African Americans, we were like oddly quiet. We were so quiet about this shit that the gay community started accusing African American community of being homophobic for not supporting him. What they didn't understand is that we were supporting him with our silence. Because we understood that this nigga was clearly lying. None of these details added up at all. He said he's walking down the street in Chicago and white dudes come up to him and say, "Hey man, aren't you that from Empire?" Does that sound like how white people talk? I know white people, they don't talk like that. They would never say that. It sounds like something that I would say. If you're racist and homophobic, you're not even gonna know who this nigga is. You can't watch Empire. Can you imagine if you was a police veteran taking this kid's police report? Okay, Mr. Smouillet, please tell me what happened. All right, 2 a.m. You left the house at 2 a.m. It's minus 16 degrees. All right. You were walking. All right. And where were you going? Subway. Sandwiches? That's when the men approached you? Did you see them? Do you have any? Okay, what they have on? MAGA hats. MAGA hats on in Chicago? Excuse me one second, Mr. Smouillet. Frank, come here for a second. Find out where Kanye West was last night.
Give this guy a hug right here.
I came home from the road. This is not long ago. I've been gone for, if you can picture, I was gone for weeks and weeks. And when I came back, nobody was home. Now, one person in my family thought that maybe I'd like to see them when I got back. Like, they knew when I was coming back, but they just weren't home. And that was a wake-up call. You know, like when my kids were little and the tour bus would pull up to the house, these motherfuckers would spill out. Dad is home, hooray! And they'd hug me and kiss me, and then as the years went on, they'd get less interested. Hey everybody, look, it's Mr. Promises back from the road. But empty house, that's some cold shit. And I went into my oldest son's room. I was like, hello, hello. He was gone. And I'd never done this to him before, but for some reason I just did it. I just looked through his shit. Just to see who this motherfucker was becoming. And I found these notebooks and I started going through the notebooks and it was all this wonderful poetry in them.
Open the door, close the door, I am so confused.
Written in his handwriting. I didn't even know this wrote poems. And then I looked through his drawers and I opened up his drawer and I found this rolling paper. And I looked down at them papers like, oh, that's where that poetry's coming from. And that shit broke my heart. I mean, I smoked weed, but I mourned my son's innocence. And I cried a little bit. And I took his papers upstairs to my room. Rolled some weed that I'd hid from the family. And I got really high. And then I got paranoid, so I put his papers back how I found them. So he wouldn't know what I was up to. Won't even know that happened till he sees the special. Yeah, I found your papers.
It's that time of year as college basketball takes center stage with the tournament finally upon us. What's going on, y'all? It's your man, Lloyd Spence, and if you're looking to wager this year, BetOnline is the #1 spot for all your updated odds and info, along with great contests including the bracket contest, where you have a chance to take home the top prize. So, head over to the website or use your mobile device to sign up today and receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Just use our promo code BELIEVE, BLEAV, to get started. BetOnline is your continued source for all your sports wagering needs, including live betting and your favorite Vegas casino games. It's BetOnline where the game starts. Happy March Madness.
Popcorn World. Popcorn World. Yeah.
Can I make you move now? Yes, I can. So you can get this movement in the back of a can. I can make it round the world when it holds in your hand. Popcorn World. 250 flavors gonna make you smile. 250 flavors gonna make you smile. 250 flavors gonna make you smile. I said popcorn make you smile. Ah. 250 flavors. Popcorn World. Popcorn World. Popcorn World. It's a popcorn world. It's a popcorn world.
Welcome to Talkin NOIZ, the daily podcast that brings you up to speed and keeps you informed about real issues affecting real people. With your host, Mr. Talkin NOIZ himself, Lloyd Spence. His beautiful wife, Mrs. NOIZ, Kenyatta Spence. The ever-informed Brother NOIZ, Alan Brown. And yours cordially, Uncle NOIZ, Shake Anderson. Come on in and join us as we reveal and opine today's most pressing issues. Real truth while having real fun. Talkin NOIZ is in your house right now. So sit back and enjoy Talkin NOIZ.
day it is? Guess what day it is? Huh? Anybody? Julie, hey, guess what day it is? Oh, come on, I know you can hear me. Mike. What day is it, Mike? Leslie, guess what today is?
It's hump day.
Woo-hoo!
It is that, but it's also Women Wednesday. And ladies and gentlemen, let's not waste any time. We have in the building our wonderful Soror, Roxanne Christian is in the building. Give it up.
Hello, I'm so happy to be here.
Glad to have you to talk about the weed.
Which one? That's what we're going to talk about today. Which weed?
Whatever weed, Roxanne, you want to talk about, that's what we're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Now, officially, her company is not called the Weed Company. It's called Lux Medi
RX, yes.
Medi RX. It's a wellness, aesthetics, and spirituality company. That's what they officially do. But I know that they focus on the weed. And I want to talk about it because I need to know, should I incorporate the weed into my life? That's really what this show is about today. People keep telling me you need the weed, sir. And I'm like, I do? I need it? And so I think we want to bring on an expert.
Well, I'm going to try to be the expert today, Brother Lloyd. But you know what? Let me pause you because I see my Soror looking good today. Okay.
I mean,
hey, Soror.
The rumor is that Azeta looks good every day. I don't know if
that's not a rumor. That's a fact.
That's not a rumor? Is that a fact? What you say?
That's a fact on Arizona. Okay.
All right now, Roxanne is all the way live. Let me just tell you.
Listen, I've been 24 years in this, so I ain't got no shame.
24 years you've been selling the weed?
No, I've been a Zeta.
Oh, you've been a Zeta. Okay, I was like, you've been selling the weed.
Wow. Definitely talk about.
I was going to say, Roxanne, I don't think you're supposed to tell them you've been selling it for 24, because 24 years ain't been legal now. Okay, all right.
We'll leave that for the memoirs.
Where did you pledge at?
University of Washington, captivating Captain New, spring 98.
Captivating Captain. All right. Spring 98?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Hearing you say that makes me feel old as a Sigma.
Yes. My husband, spring 97, Kappa Lambda.
Is he a Sigma?
Absolutely.
What you say now?
Yes.
Right?
Wow.
Girl, you have been touched by the hand of the Lord. I got to tell you.
Wow.
You did it right. You did the way it's
That's rare that we find other married couples that are.
I should have him on here. He has some great things going too, but
well, listen, we will work that out in post. Yeah. We will definitely get y'all on one of these platforms we got over here. You tell Fred I said, go, Mom. You know, he knows
you know.
You know what that means. Well, listen, I want to get right to it because, first of all, that's the lovely Al B right there, in case you were wondering who this random dude that just pulled up driving was. That's our co-host.
Lovely.
You are a lovely man. Listen.
You can choose a better word than lovely.
The ratings say you are lovely to the ladies. So I don't argue with the ratings. I just go with what they say.
Oh my God.
I go with the people. The people say you're lovely. So there you go. Let's get right to it. Roxanne, how did you come up with this amazing company? And what got you interested in the weed? Let's talk about it. Right?
Yes, I will start from the beginning. So originally, my company is called 500 Lux. And so that has been around for a while. I actually reestablished the company 2 years ago to go from being an ideation company. Let me talk to you about ideation. So do you ever have these really great ideas? You don't know how to get them out your head and on paper so you can actually get somebody to invest in it?
Yes.
So that's kind of what I did with 500 Lux. I love people and their ideas, but I want to help them and then let them go run with it. So that's originally what 500 Lux was. 500 Lux happens to be the measure of light in an office space. So wherever I go, we working, right?
Okay.
Wow.
That is 500 Lux. So we established it years ago. I reestablished the business as a multi-brand company. So if you think about Procter & Gamble, Johnson & Johnson, they have all these other DBAs are doing business as and brands underneath them, but they're like a parent company. So
Right.
I switched 500 Lux over to that because it gave me a lot of flexibility. And I needed that. When the pandemic started, we all was worried about, are we going to have a job? How are we going to pay the bills? What is happening? Is this the end? And so all those ways of questioning, and then also questioning your livelihood. I have 2 children. One's about to go to college. So I got to make sure the money is coming in. And everyone at that time, I'm sure you've had lots of people on your podcast who are coming up with these interesting ways and inventive ways to bring an extra stream of income in. And I needed to do that. I have been working in philanthropy for almost 20 years. So helping people utilize their resources to help other people. So it's like Robin Hood, rob from the rich, give to the poor. Okay. So that's what I do in my day job. But I've always been a creative, and I felt like I was lacking that creativity. I love my day job, but I need more that I can control, right? That's not controlled by somebody else. And so I literally woke up out my sleep and I said, you know what? I want to start an e-commerce brand. So I knew that that was kind of the way, that's something I can control from home, right? I can find a product to sell. So I was like, okay, I want to do e-commerce. And then I was reading this article. I'm big into venture capital. So I follow a lot of people who are venture capitalists. They just want to, invest in new ideas. I love Kickstarter. So I'm on there all the time. And I was reading something about the cannabis industry, the hemp industry in general. And it said that it will be worth $80 billion by 2023.
Wow.
Well, let me find out, right? Because I was not an avid or active cannabis user, right? I don't think nothing of it. I think people who need it need to use it. People who want it should use it. So at that point, I had not been an active user. I had helped a friend do some testing of different cannabis beverages and food products before they came on the market. And I was like, okay, this is kind of cool, but they were all THC based. So if the experience you get with a THC based product is very different than what you're going to get with a CBD or any other of the cannabinoid products. So we'll talk about that too. But I woke up and I said, I want to do it. Then I went on that journey, a year and a half of not only, I thought I was learning e-commerce, had to learn e-commerce, had to learn wholesale, distribution, FAA guidelines, the whole hemp industry. I had no idea, and to me, it was a testament of I knew how to start a business, but I had never started any of these other businesses. If you do consulting, if you do other business models, that stuff came easy to me, but this was a stretch. In general, I like a stretch. I like something that's entrepreneurial, and then I gotta let it go. Right? I'm not here for the long haul. You gotta know who you are. I'm not here for the long haul. So that's the long story of how I got to Lux Medi RX, and I saw that there were not any CBD companies at the time that I knew of that were focusing on support for people of color, reducing the taboo within our community. Focusing on images of people of color in the industry, and then also pushing for that the influx of business owners within the industry, right? Because we've been penalized for so many years. It's destroyed our weed, right? Has destroyed our communities. And I say it's weed, but really, we all know that is the structures and the systemic racism around the application of laws when it comes to hemp or cannabis. Right. So anyway,
so now you're a user. You were not a user, and now you're like, this is amazing.
Well, yeah, I was. Every now and then, I have friends who they are daily users of all the cannabinoids, but I was not, because I don't necessarily need it, but I had used a CBD product for pain relief on my knee. And I was like, okay, well, let me find out. Since then, obviously, I'm an avid user now of all things CBD and hemp. And hemp just has the hemp plant in general. The earth knew what it was doing. Mother Nature knew what she was doing when she created the hemp product, right? The hemp plant. And so there's so many ways to use it. And then we definitely can talk about that. But I literally woke up out my sleep and I said, I'm going to try something new. And that's just a testament of don't be afraid to do something that you've never done before and not be an expert, but do the work along the way, the willingness to learn and to network and to communicate. That's really where it's at.
Now it's legal in Washington State, right?
Yes.
Y'all out
yes.
there. Y'all out there just doing your thing right now.
Many states, I think over 30 states now, you actually can have some type of THC
Right.
use. Nationwide, CBD is legal.
Right.
But federally, we haven't been, it's a long story, but federally, anything that is ingested has not been approved by FDA. Therefore, it cannot be sold widely, which is why when you go on my website, there's a ton of disclaimers. And then you have to say, hey, I'm 21 and over, because some states you have to be 21, some not, even with CBD. So all of the laws of each state are different. But after the 2008 hemp bill, you were able to sell CBD-based products or any hemp products that have less than 0.3% of THC in it, and it's lab tested.
Now you made a face when she mentioned the difference between the two things.
Because I really want to understand the difference between I know what THC, that's the chemical that's introduced to hemp to make it a powerful narcotic, correct?
No, actually not. All
and see, there we go. I want to know the difference between just straight hemp, cannabis, CBD, TCH, and of course, what's on the current topics now is the Habish oil. What's the difference between it, which is what Brittany Griner is being detained over in Russia for?
So that I don't know. I'm going to get back to you on that one, but I can tell you the difference between all of the other ones. So in general, the hemp plant has over 100 different cannabinoids. Tetrahydrocannabinol is just one. So that's THC, tetrahydrocannabinol, just one of those of 100, right? So they have selected out THC because it is highly psychoactive. And that is the worry, right? And if you think of every plant, anything we eat, that is grown, whether it's corn, any type of plant, has similar genetics, but they all have different properties attached to it. So what the the grow industry has done has selected out certain genetics of hemp plants to grow them to be high CBD or high THC, because that's what the market cares about. They don't really care right now. Well, they're starting to, but they don't normally care about any of the other cannabinoids, the 98 other to 110 other cannabinoids. They're saying, hey, the government has said that THC is illegal, or THC is on the narcotics list or the scheduled substance list. But if you have less than 3%, less than 0.3%, then they're saying, okay, it technically is not going to give you that feeling of what we've deemed as a narcotic.
So THC is not added afterwards. It grows with it?
It's naturally in hemp plants. Wow. There are some hemp plants that are genetically high THC. So if you go to any cannabis shop, there's all different kinds of bud in there. And some they call it purple kush or whatever. So those are specifically grown. They take the genetics and they breed them together to be able to create higher THC. They'll pull out another cannabinoid. So they'll grow them together. I'm not a grower. It's a very specific industry. So I would love to have a Black grower on here for you. But there's very specific ways that they genetically improve. Then they take those plants and you'll go to a manufacturer. The manufacturer then distills it and pulls out the other cannabinoids. So that's where you have the difference between full spectrum, broad spectrum, isolate. So let me tell you, so most of my products are full spectrum. They're full spectrum because I feel like you need those other cannabinoids to help with the CBD that really will give you that relief and effect. A lot of people don't like what I call whole plant, which is full spectrum, because it does smell hempy. It has a really beautiful, I love the smell of hemp. So you do smell that, right? It's not overpowering. It's not wild, but it does have that hemp flower smell. But it not only has that, but what it does is it doesn't pull out the things like CBG, which are great for migraines and muscle soreness. So right now you're starting to see the industry pull out other cannabinoids for specific reasons. You'll have CBG for migraines, CBN because it's more sedative. It'll give you that sleep aid, that strong sleep. But like for instance, our Vesper full spectrum whole plant tea, it's high CBD. That's the main thing, but it has all of these other spectrums of CBD in it, which is why I feel like it's more useful and impactful. It doesn't mean that something is broad spectrum, right? Broad spectrum is from a plant that is pure, that is mainly grown to be CBD strong, and then they make sure that they're removing out the THC. So they're not adding in THC. What they're doing is they're removing out enough of it to be below the federal guidelines. Then you have isolate. Most bath products like bath bombs, some lotions, those will be your isolate, which means they have isolated out all of the CBD in a hemp product, and all the other 99 plus cannabinoids, they're not in there. So you're only getting, you're isolating the CBD. It still has great benefit, but it's just going to give you a different feeling.
Oh, in the chat, they're saying, please repeat what's good for migraines, please.
Yes. So I say I love my full spectrum products, but you have to understand CBD is a journey. I mean, I say CBD loosely because, like I said, I sell a lot of full spectrum products, but CBD really is a journey on your own. Everybody's body is different. Everybody's endocannabinoid system is different. Your nervous system and how you process the product of hemp is different for everybody. So you kind of have to be willing to test it out. So for migraines specifically, CBG, I cannot even say the word right now, so don't get me wrong, but go research CBG. So you'll know a lot of manufacturers will have tincture. So I don't sell tincture, which is like the oil that's in like a little bottle and you could use droplets. Those are really, really good. I don't sell them because every hemp company, every CBD company sells tincture. I want to give the market what they already don't have. So if you're really looking for like migraine relief and muscle soreness, then CBG might be an option for you. I would try full spectrum. I still wouldn't want something that's just purely just one isolated out cannabinoid. But that might work for you if you're really worried about, I got to be on my job and I can't have THC. You might want to go to an isolate format in any of your hemp products.
Yeah, this is interesting because a lot of people are the thing that I hear most of it from most people is about now is all of the medicinal properties that it covers. And so it's interesting that you said that's not something that like would your tea help with that, or you don't really have anything?
Oh yeah. There's tons of different products. So yes, the tea specifically, I call it Vesper because it's really about reconciling the end of your day. I have people who drink it all throughout the day because they have high anxiety. So if you are a person that gets anxious, you're a person that has a hard time like shutting your brain down, relaxing, then something like a full spectrum tea. And then tea is universal. People drink tea all over the world. So that's why that was a product that I was drawn to. And it attaches to a daily routine. So really, when I created Lux Medi RX, I wanted people to feel better every day. And I wanted them to be able to find a hemp product that they can add to whatever they're doing in their routine, whether you're waking up, whether you're taking a shower, you're going to the gym, you are on the job. Maybe you need it to help you because you got knee pain, right? Or maybe you need it to help you when you come home, or maybe you need it to help go to sleep or wind down. So all of those things, being intentional about your day. I think it's easy for us to get distracted and not put ourselves first. Right now, everybody's like, oh, self-care, but we really are focused on routine and self-care and being intentional about it, which is why we use the word ritual, because we want you to be so intentional about your shower that you are combining other things to it that make you feel good and mindful of the moment that you're in.
I noticed on your website you had soap and
yes.
So like you're having a rough day at work, you got some lotion.
Yeah, well, the body
Yeah.
butter, the oil is so the oil is multi-use. It's 1,000 milligrams. That's another thing. So if you look at a lot of CBD brands are booming right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of us, all of us mainly, use the same manufacturer unless it's a manufacturer's brand. We
Okay.
all use the same manufacturers. Why? Because FDA guidelines, federal guidelines tells us you have to have lab reports. You have to have the labels a specific way. So for you to be, legally selling anything that's CBD. So there's only so many products out there. So we're all literally selling the same thing.
Wow.
We're all literally selling the same thing. So that's why I want to make sure my pricing is competitive. And also I'm looking out there and seeing what's offered, which is why you'll find a lot of isolate, a lot of it'll say no THC, which is fine, but that's not why you will come to Lux Medi RX. We have some no THC products, but literally all of them are the no THC honestly is a marketing and branding thing. Right, because you look at it like, okay, well, they say they have no THC, and it makes me feel like it's okay for me to use it. Right, it's reducing that taboo.
Right, I was thinking that the reason why you say that is because, well, I don't want people to think I'm trying to get them high, but
Yes,
I mean, there's no way not to equate this product with some type of euphoric sensation. So. That's why you're here. Like, okay, yeah. But listen, I don't care how I get. My knee stop hurting. I'm good.
yeah, and see, you can with certain products, you can your knee will stop hurting, or it'll cut off the receptor for that knee, right? And then you won't get high. There's no psychoactive effect to it. You'll get that calming effect. You may get pain relief, but every CBD product is not going to give you that pain relief, which is why you need to think about it, right? So what we focused on, if we're saying pain relief, we're talking about high potency. Anything that's going on like the dermis of the skin has to be manufactured in a way where there's nano CBD or there's nano molecules, which means it can get through the skin and actually get to the blood system. So if I put on a hand cream that's maybe 100 milligrams, it's maybe 1% that's by the time it gets through my skin into the dermis, who knows how much is actually getting there. So really you're using that because there's high moisturizing properties in hemp. You're not using that 100 milligram hand lotion to reduce pain. You're not doing that. So you have to think about how those who are in the CBD industry need to think about the products that we're putting out there, not just to make a buck. I want to make sure that I'm having results. So we just launched the CBD Cooling Relief Rub. There's other ones out there, but ours are full spectrum. One, because you're going to get some of that CBG, right? You're going to get CBD, you're going to get CBG, you're going to get all those other cannabinoids. And with 2,000 milligrams, you're guaranteed to get something to that knee. So it's going to stop hurting, right? Wow. And in a timely manner. Everyone is different. So 2,000 milligrams may be too high of a potency. If you're like, no, it just makes me feel weird. Or if you talk to so it's not an if, you need to talk to your doctor, your care physician before you start using any hemp-based products. It's on you. Once you leave my website, you done sign so many disclaimers, you can't come back to me. But the point is thinking about the potency of what you're putting on your body and the purpose of it. If it's for pain relief, it's not going to help you at 1,000 milligrams unless you're soaking in a bathtub for 45 minutes, right? So the 100 milligram bath bomb will kind of give you that relaxation and muscle soreness relief, just as an Epsom salt bath would for 45 minutes. It's just going to heighten that bath and then really help you relax, right? Because our bodies don't heal when it's hurt, when we are tense, right? So what the CBD does to your receptors is help you relax. So then your body can start healing itself. And so that's really why CBD is essential to recovery.
We got some questions coming in the chat. I work in telecom. I need to be laser focused, but I have aches and pains from my military days. I prefer a natural product. Is hemp good for that?
Yes, hemp is great for that. Like I said, anything that you can get on a website, over the counter, at a grocery store, anything that is sold retail has to be less than 0.3% THC. It is not going to make you high. It is not psychoactive at all. But you do need to figure out how it interacts with your body before you're using it on the job. Right. So I would say that if your knee pain, a relief rub is going to help that because you're targeting it. It's staying on the skin long enough to get to that knee, to get through your nervous system. If you, a lot of people pair it, so they get a heightened effect too. So they'll use a cream and then they'll also have a tincture part of their regular day. Right. So if you feel like that is something that will work for you and that provides you additional support, then I would highly suggest that. Like I said, we don't do tincture, but it really works for a lot of people.
Soror, I'm getting a couple of questions in my inbox. Some people like to ask those anonymous questions.
Sure, go ahead.
They want to know, what is your thoughts on how does that work with menstrual cycles?
So I am so happy you asked that. So I have a partnership right now with Love Her. They are launching their website. They are Black owned by amazing Black women. And they really are focused on period health, things that have to do with us as women. And so right now they're looking at testing out the CBD relief rub that I just launched in the oil to help subside menstrual discomfort and pain. And really, if you think about when you have menstrual pain and discomfort, it happens to various people, but sometimes it comes through your back, right? And so you just feel it deep in your back. So something like a relief rub is definitely going to help with that. So what they are also looking at to see if it will help relieve some of the issues with fibrosis or other things that happen in that area, that pelvic area. There's lots of studies out there, but there's still not enough information to directly say, hey, this helps period health. What we do know, it relieves muscle soreness. It dampens the receptors of that pain. And so then you can at least get to sleep. One of the founders of that company also is an avid user of the tea, and she loves it. And it really is helpful to her. So it's just thinking about what you need and what actually will work for your lifestyle. You may not be able to, if you have to go to work, maybe you don't want to, have the tea because it doesn't make you less alert, but it makes you kind of chill. You're going to be like, okay, it's not the kind of chill you do when you smoke a joint and you you melt into the couch. That's not it. Okay. But the irritating coworkers may not be so irritating anymore.
Oh, you just said it. Another question that came in, what about blood pressure and heart stuff?
Yes. So anything that affects the nervous system is going to in heart. You have to talk to your doctor to see or a naturopath. So sometimes a doctor, they'll immediately lead you to a federally approved drug, which is a pill, right? Very rarely will they lead you down a natural path, a natural health product. But if you like, most insurances will also allow you to see a naturopath. So you can combine both. Please go to your cardiologist. Please go to your regular primary care doctor, but also add a naturopath to your care routine and see what they say and see if that's going to help you. And then once you're under the guidance of a physician, then they can help you think about what products work for you. But some people can't take my products, or like I said, are high potency, right? And they're full spectrum. That may not work for you. But you need to find there is a high possibility that you're going to find a hemp product that's going to help with what you need.
Well, now let me ask Soror, on your website there is this anoint oil.
Yes.
This oil.
Yes.
1,000 milligrams.
1,000 milligrams.
Tell me how it's gonna make me feel all right.
Yes. So really it's a combination. So I have had people use the Anoint body oil when they are recovering from surgery. So they just want that skin relief, right? They want relief on the skin. It's not a pain relief product. Okay. What it is going to improve your skin. It's going to help with what your body soaks in. So let's just say, which is why we've combined for the anniversary bundle, the Anoint body oil with the cooling rub. Right. So now you have moisturized your skin. If anything, dry skin nothing is gonna get in there, which is why you moisturize, right? It's created a callus on your skin. So once you moisturize and you've opened up all of those pores, then you put on your CBD rub. It's that combo is amazing. In general, the Anoint body oil really is going to have that great calming effect. Anything 1,000 milligrams, around 1,000 milligrams, you're going to feel a calming effect. And I'm talking about topically, so on the outside of your body. If you ingest it, you don't need 1,000 milligrams. You need to stay around 20 to 40. Right. It's different when you bring something directly into your body versus it has to go through all of these protective systems to get to your bloodstream and an endocannabinoid system.
Now you got all kinds of stuff going on here. You got like stuff for shaving. You got
yes.
The milk bath. I mean, you can bathe in it. You can. I mean, soap, you got everything. Candles.
I do. And I launched every single product with some really good intention. I looked out in the market and I said, where is the men's care? Men take baths too? Or what do men need? And then specifically, what does a Black man need? Right?
Come on.
And so just being conscious of Black male health and making sure that you're also prioritizing yourself. But how do you do it? What does a Black man take pride in? Their beard. You know what they're doing. Like you have a beard, but my husband also does too. But that's how you see self-care. It may not be, I got a bath bomb and some wine, I'm laying in the tub. That may not be it. It could be, but it probably is not. So how do I help? My question to myself was, how do I help my Black man feel intentional about his day, which is why I created Trifecta. Really was the one that I wanted. Super low milligram, but it gets you thinking more about those extra things in your day. Like how I just want to wake up. You wash your face. Okay, throw in this Trifecta. It is beard conditioner, shave oil, facial toner. All in one. You don't need men do not want 5,000 different products. They want one thing they can put it on. I have one brother who's been using the products. He's a longshoreman. He loves it. He said, oh, my face still be feeling good at the end of the day. And you're talking about someone who's a hard worker. They're always, being battled by being by the water. And so his testimonial really meant a lot to me because I was like, okay, it's kind of doing what I wanted it to do, right? When your beard is softer, it grows out better. Right. You don't get the hair bumps. And so, and I think that's what people, Black men men in general, but Black men really care about. Right. If it's kind of like a woman's hair is her crowning glory. Right. That beard, that's really what is showing like your royalty, which is why there's a system. It's Soror, which is a shave bar. So I don't know if you're an at-home shaver, but that intentional whipping of a shave bar, it takes some time.
Yeah.
So you have to you're going to be but if you shave, if you have a bald head and you like shaving like my husband, you're going to be like, okay, well, let me do this, right? It's a different type of experience. And I call that Soror. So Soror was that metal beard that Egyptian royalty wore to show who they were. And so that's why all my products, all the names are specifically chosen for a reason. And so Soror and Trifecta really are that men's first emergence for men's self-care.
Wow.
Listen, you are as thorough a weed dealer I've ever seen in my life. This is unbelievable.
I'm a weed dealer.
This is unbelievable. No, really, it's just unbelievable.
I'm a cannabis.
You're a cannabis.
That's right.
My question to you is, so the hardcore smoker, what would you say to them as it relates to this? Because they're looking for maybe a different experience, but you have so many products that surely there's something in there for them as well.
Yeah. So if you are a person who regularly medicates yourself with THC, nothing is going to compare to that psychoactive.
Right.
Now your receptors are like, this is what we do. Right. But it doesn't take away the routine and intentionality of your day. Wait, I already know you love hemp products. So now wake up. Use that obsidian bar. It smells amazing. You put that on, you put the oil on, you're feeling good and you're looking good. Yes, you have waked and baked, But now you also feel good about yourself, right?
But you don't smell like weed now. Now you smell good.
Oh, no, you are not. No, this smells like something. I can't even explain it to you. The soap. So this is an interesting thing about the soap. There are other CBD soaps out there, but they're like your run-of-the-mill soaps. Then there's this huge community of artisan soap makers, right? And they have these great fragrances, these beautiful designs, and no one combined the two. And so I was like, okay. And then I couldn't find a soap that had high enough milligrams because I actually wanted within 5 minutes of being in that shower, that soap being on your skin.
Okay.
Effect. So that's why we use nanosoluble CBD in our soap. That way you lather up, let that lather sit on there 5 minutes, get your little hype yourself up for the day.
Yeah.
It smells great. You get that aromatherapy at the same time, but I could not find that. So I had to make it. So the soap is really the only artisan product I have. So I do make that. I buy the CBD wholesale and then I make the soap. So
now you making all this stuff yourself?
No, just the soap is the only artisan
the
product.
Soap is the one you make. Okay.
Yeah, everything else, because the guidelines are so strict, like I said, you have to go with the manufacturer.
Well, listen, I need some weed in my life. I need to get in on this weed thing. I'm gonna have to go on this website and get me some weed. CBD, okay, CBD.
You can call it whatever you want to call it.
I want people to understand this is a good product, and sometimes they just be like, "Well, I don't know about CBD." Okay, weed. Yeah. Is that what you want? Is that what you want? You want raw?
Well, but you know what I've discovered is listening to Soror Roxanne. I'm listening to how thorough she's educating us on this, where we won't go into any past CBD information that we've had from someone else that we didn't really get.
You shaded them.
It was shade. It was subtle. It was subtle shade. And that
it wasn't subtle at all.
It wasn't. Oh, okay. Well, that was it. That was its intention. Is that people just like get the gummies, get the drops, and are like there. So there, and we're like, okay. All we know is CBD. We have no real understanding of what it is that we're ingesting. We're just like, okay, this is not supposed to be bad because. Are you saying something, Al?
I was waiting for you to finish. I was going to say you're absolutely right. I'm 51, soon to be 52, and I always thought CBDs were just another way of getting high. No different than an edible, So thank you for the education.
Thank you.
Because my knees have been hurting for about 12 years, and I'm like, I ain't never did drugs. I ain't gonna do drugs now. So
yeah,
I might have to get hooked up with Lloyd's dealer.
Well, my new deal is gonna be Roxanne, but I what I've learned, here's what got me interested in it, because I'm around athletes a lot now, and they're all saying the same thing. They're saying, man, the quickest route to recovery, game to game, is CBD. And I was like, really? Because
can I tell you a bit about this? So
absolutely.
A lot of the people who are avid people who work out or they run a lot, or they're athletes, do use CBD to stop. It's called delayed onset of muscle soreness. So it's DOMS. So you work out really hard, then muscles are shredding. When they be saying, "Oh yeah, I'm going in, I'm shredding," they're really tearing up their muscles, because then all of your white blood cells, your body is going and it's working out, and then it builds it up. The next day by the time you go to sleep, you can't even walk. So what they're doing is using CBD to numb those receptors. So you're not tightened up around those muscles, you relax, then they can get everything that they need. So you recover faster. You can be back in the gym the next day and not be hurting. And so that is also a really great use of the anniversary bundle, which is that oil and the topical CBD cream. You don't want to rub that cream all over your body. It is targeted. So let's just say it's leg day. You want to put your oil all over your body, but then you want to put that cream on your knee, your calf, your thigh, your glute, anywhere where you're going to get that muscle soreness. You wake up in the morning, you're going to be feeling good. You'll be like, I'm ready to go back at it. And so that's really what athletes are talking about when they say, okay, CBD helped me. It just reduces the late onset of muscle soreness.
Because that relief rub, like you said, it's really strong. 2,000 milligrams.
2,000 full spectrum. It's gonna get you what you need. Yeah.
But it goes right to it. There's no release time. It's just
there's a bit of a release time depending on who you are, right?
Okay.
You know, some people it's harder to get through. If you're an active user of THC, it may take longer or it might go right there. You just never know. But 2,000 milligrams is enough that by the time it gets to the system, I'm gonna have enough milligrams left to really do what it's supposed to do.
Wow.
So I'm going to ask what may sound like a silly question or an ignorant question. Well, it's definitely ignorant question because I have no knowledge. Just like any other medication, larger people, should we take larger quantities?
No, I wouldn't say larger quantities. No, because even if you're a larger person, your nervous system is still the same size, pretty much, right? Your vertebrae is not bigger because you're a bigger person. And the nervous system comes out of that central vertebrae system, and there's other neuroreceptors that happen. So I wouldn't necessarily say a bigger person needs to take more. That's not necessarily the case, but it may take you longer to figure out what does work for you.
Well,
right?
I was thinking more because of the amount of tissue between the skin and the muscle and so on and so forth like that.
I would say not.
That's
No, not necessarily.
More of a time thing and not a potency thing.
Yeah, but you know what? Fat is a great receptor. So you might actually have your relief longer if you're a fat person. I don't know. I'm thinking my damn self. So I wouldn't
know anything about fat people.
I mean, I say fat with a PHAT. You know, I own it. I love it. Right.
Yeah.
And so, but yes, everybody's body is different. But I would not just say a blanket statement that because you're bigger, you need more. Okay. Because your brain, your neuroreceptors are the same. There. Everyone has neuroreceptors, but how fast they move is different. Right? How fast the message gets to the brain is different for every person. So that's what we're focused on. That's not necessarily the body, the physical body.
You keep mentioning this anniversary pack. Tell us what's in this anniversary.
Yes. March 12th, we celebrated our 1 year as a brand. We are so excited. And, so March is just a big month for us. At the beginning of every year, every month we launch a new soap. So there's a soap for March. There's going to be 2 for April, 1 for May, and then a new men's soap in June. But the anniversary bundle, I wanted to give something that people have been asking for, which was the launch of the Chill Factor, which is the CBD cooling relief rub, and then the Anoint oil together. So it's that combo, that thing that's going to give you a really great punch. But I do want to say this because I know we're running short on time. All of your listeners, everyone who goes back and listens to this gets 10% off. So you got to enter in code capital NOIZ 10, and you're going to get 10% off.
Yay!
That may not seem a lot, but that might be tax or that might be shipping. So you got to figure out how you want to, perceive that 10% off. But I just want to make sure that we are really supporting our community, getting relief and releasing the taboo of I'm getting high. And then at the point, who cares if you feel better about yourself?
That's all.
Wow. Well, we are very grateful for that. We always trying to look out for the noisemakers, and the rewatch noisemakers. And so
Alicia in the chat said, "I've already submitted my order."
Well, hold on. You should have waited. We had the code for you. The code is NOIZ 10, right?
Yep, capital NOIZ 10.
Wow.
Well, so, and this is the company anniversary for March, you said?
The brand, yes. The
brand anniversary.
Brand anniversary. Yeah.
We won't forget because we just had our 23rd wedding anniversary this past week. And so
congratulations.
March is you know what? The day before was your birthday. So Mr.
Really,
T.
my birthday's on the 31st. So if you want to wait, it's okay if y'all want to wait till March 31st is our second Cannabis sale. So for my birthday, there's always great deals. They're already marked down, and you can use your NOIZ 10 promo code. So if you want to wait till the 31st to do those orders, you can. That probably would be the best way too.
I want you to address this because I know a lot of people, I've heard people say this as well. This Sean said he used a CBD cream on his knees and it worked, but he didn't like the menthol smell. Is there a menthol-y kind of smell?
No menthol. So it's a peppermint. So it's a peppermint essential oil base.
Oh, it's nice.
So it's just a bit different. The Anoint body oil has a lavender base, but it's not a floral feminine lavender scent. It's something that you actually you put it on like, oh, okay, you just smell good. You still smell fresh. You smell confident and happy. That's why I just love it. And it's all essential oil based. So no, not menthol based at all. Menthol is really good when you want to utilize menthol to get through the dermis of the skin because it's really helpful in that way. But peppermint does a very similar thing.
Wow. I'm just blown away. This is the most thorough CBD explanation I've ever had.
I mean, I'm just saying, and
it really is. I feel way more comfortable about it now than because I've taken it because full disclosure, we've had companies hit us up and be like, oh, we want y'all to try our product, and they send us the product. We're like, okay, I feel a little something, but I ain't saying it's help. I don't know if it's working. I mean, your stuff sounds like it worked.
Well, I'm gonna send you something so then you can speak from experience.
I'm gonna get to speak from experience.
Yes.
Well, I'm excited about that. So I'm gonna tell you something. I am very excited about this product. I'm excited about you because you sound like you know what you're talking about. You've done your research, and I'm a big fan for people who do their homework. And so I don't think it's out of the ordinary or strange for me to dub you our official CBD/weed dealer going forward.
I love that. Thank you.
Noise weed dealer, Noise Media and Entertainment.
It's okay. Listen,
I never had a weed dealer before. This is fun.
We're this close. There is a house. I think it's a House bill that is in front of the federal government that will completely remove CBD from the Schedule 1 substance list, which means you will go into CVS. Right now, you can go into a lot of different grocery stores. We go to Albertsons, CVS. It'll just be on the counter, and that's for ingestible products. So the tea, right now, you can only get the tea. You got to come to me. But in a few months, hopefully, they'll fully deregulate it, and you'll be able to get your CBD products just going to the grocery store. And that's where we want to be, too. We want to be on those shelves. So if you see us on the shelves, please buy it. Otherwise, until then, come on to luxmedrx.com.
Alicia's already claimed you as her dealer. So
that's so sweet. I love that. Thank you.
Pulling you in. Roxanne, you're amazing. We're so proud of you. And then to pivot like you did in the pandemic, that's pretty impressive. We know a little bit about that as well. But that's really impressive.
I can't wait to meet Mr. Roxanne.
Oh, we're gonna bring him back.
He's not Mr. Roxanne. Y'all not doing that to my frat.
I'm sorry.
He's captivating in himself. He actually has his own nonprofit with two other of his fraternity brothers.
Come on, frat.
Yes, aceacademywad.org. They are. I'm just gonna pump him because you got to pump your husband. But
you do have to pump
he's doing nonprofit work for young Black males and boys. So if you ever have a segment like that, bring him on. He's amazing.
Let Fred know we need him on here.
Yes, I will.
Let's make that happen.
Look, Mr. Uncorked Wine said they need to come to Uncorked Wine on Saturday.
I feel like y'all got big Uncorked Wine energy.
I agree.
Now I'll tell you this.
I still do.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. I still do. I
got a little more class than them. I'm gonna say you are my CBD provider.
Thank you.
And let me encourage you to elevate Mr. Roxanne and not pump him.
No, you pump him.
Well, you might need that too.
No, you pump
him.
I am pro pump. You
pump up.
Pump him up. No, I get what you're saying. Yes, I promote him very well. Yes.
And that too. You can promote and pump all at the same time.
What is your husband's
sometimes you can promote while you're pumping.
When we go off the rails like this, now you know you family.
Yeah, I'm fine with CBD and liquor. We can talk about that next time.
Ooh, I'm with it.
See,
I'm with it. We are with it. We are with
Roxanne,
it.
what is your husband's first name? So I do
His
not have.
name is CJ Dancer. Is his last name Clarence Dancer Jr.
That
Okay.
is a celebrity name. CJ Dancer.
It does sound like a celebrity name.
I feel like he's an R&B singer on the low.
Or somehow related to that JoJo Dancer.
Right.
JoJo Dancer, your life is
Richard Pryor character, JoJo
No,
Dancer.
Richard Pryor.
I don't think he's that wild. He probably ain't that wild. That's
Oh
wild.
my God.
He's
There's all your information, people. Go to this website, LuxMediRx.com. Use your code NOIZ10 for your 10% off.
Yeah.
The anniversary bundle is well priced, and you get listen. If you go to the website, you'll see it's well priced because you can buy them separately, and that's a different price. If you buy them together, it's a better price. So
Yes, and that price is not going to change. So if that's what you want, you might as well get it today. The other items will go a bit on sale for the Canna Boss birthday on March 31st.
The Canna Boss.
Canna Boss. That feels like
44.
Oh
wow.
And then also listen, if you really feeling froggy, go on and get this free shipping as well. So all kinds of wonderful things over at this beautiful website. Roxanne is the bomb, y'all. Y'all see what it is.
Thank you.
I see what it is. Thank you so much. And please let's connect and get y'all on these other platforms as well, so we can talk more about the marriage and the partnership and all of the baby. If you got babies, I don't know if you got babies, but you said you got babies. So the babies and all that. We'll talk about all that. Now I warn you on Uncut Wine, it ain't like this show. This is a different show. That's a grown folk show. But if you like grown folk show, this is a perfect show for you. So there you go. Thank you, Roxanne. Love you so much. Oh my God.
Thank you, Soror.
I hope you've had a good time.
Thank you.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, Roxanne Christian. Give it up. She's a sweetheart.
Mm-hmm.
She's serious about a CBD though, her weed though.
That was absolutely awesome.
I needed all of that.
To obtain that much knowledge. To obtain that much knowledge in that amount of time.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
And for anybody that happened to have missed it, listen, the rewatch, you can rewatch it and slow it down and take notes and go to her website and see all of the products that she discussed. And I like how she addressed was it Stefan's question in regard to the what the cream that goes on your knees to help with knee pain, and how it's not, I don't know why no one else has gotten hold of it, and it's been in Roxanne's best interest that, just because you're getting older don't mean you want a bunch of old smells. I mean, you don't necessarily, you gotta have everything gotta be menthol, just because we need relief from pain.
And I'm not saying that she's the only one, because we don't know if she's the only one or not. But she's our exclusive. Like, we about to make this an exclusive thing. Because I like being able to have a person that knows what they're talking about. And Roxanne knows what she's talking about. So be able to reach out to her and say, Roxanne, I'm interested in it. I'm really interested in the tea, if I'm being quite honest.
I was thinking the same thing.
I'm thinking, that tea sounds like it could be thunder.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't like, even some of the stuff that we've been given. I haven't liked the taste. I haven't liked the smell. I'm just not. It's not appealing. So this is good to be able to have someone
I'm
know what you're talking about. I like it.
I played sports for probably a third of my life, and I hate the smell of Bengay.
Yeah,
and some of those CBD oils, it smells like Bengay or Icy Hot or
I mean, I get it. Excuse me, I get it, because you got, like actual organic eucalyptus oil and eucalyptus. No,
that word is kicking your ass.
It eucalyptus is what I'm trying to say. Is that oil is awesome. Now that eucalyptus oil is awesome. and peppermint oil, all these organic oils, they're awesome. But man, when you go to the store to get something trying to just relieve some pain or to help ease your muscles, and you're going, oh my gosh, why does it have to make me smell like one of my grandparents?
Yeah. Listen, LuxMediRx.com is where you need to go and get all this information and all this stuff. So just go get it and get your weed on.
And all the sorors and frat, hey, support the blue and white business.
Yeah. Al and Mama Noise, I need y'all to send back your sheets. We got the ultimate March Madness greatest in music. I need y'all to sit back. Don't me.
But bruh, the whole purpose for us extending it so we would have time to complete that sheet.
Why you were rushing, folks?
I still have to put the seating together.
What? We sit in the same place all the time.
What are you talking about?
Seating chart. Yep. I agree with you, Mama Noise.
Seating. CSEEDING.
So what, are you planning something? What are you?
Oh my God. Y'all, you know what?
This seat could be replaced. I do need a pillow or something.
Despite the foolishness of these two, we are going to have a bomb time this weekend with this. It's gonna be so good. I cannot wait. I am so excited. And I think they are on the low key too. They excited as well. So it's gonna be fun. Let's debate and argue who truly is the best in music of all time, but not based on what y'all think. See, we got some criteria that y'all ain't thought about that's gonna make this conversation even more interesting. So I'm excited about that. And then tonight, we got the boys in the building, the 5. They coming through for their March Madness picks. And we are going to talk about a little NFL free agency. We're going to talk about a little bit of that. But tonight is dedicated for sure to the March Madness picks. So don't miss that. And then in the morning, believe in the ACC. You got to believe.
It's in the morning?
It's going to be in the morning.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we moved this one in the morning. So make sure y'all here in the morning at 9 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Central Time.
For March Madness.
For the March Madness. And then we get into a really good conversation about mental health tomorrow with Danielle Thomas. I cannot wait. I'm looking forward
Another fine woman of Zeta Phi Beta sorority Incorporated.
Well, they see the banner, Kia. They see what it says.
Well, you know, they might not have seen the Soror part.
Mama Noise, say eucalyptus again.
Spell school. Spell library.
I can spell library. You can't say eucalyptus.
I can say it, and you said it wrong just now.
I said it wrong because you said it wrong.
No, I said
let's stop that.
Eucalyptus.
Stop that.
Cuz Noise in the building, ladies and gentlemen.
Pointing out each other's shortcomings.
I will not. That's the best part of marriage.
Mama Noise, are you talking about that lady that's going to be on? You said she's another fine. What now?
What?
Another fine woman of Zeta Phi Beta sorority.
Are you talking about her? Oh, never mind.
The Zetas are finer. That's a part of our sorority. Finer womanhood.
Am I frozen?
You are. All we see is the side of your
dome.
Be nice, Mama Noise. Be nice.
Why are you frozen like that? What is wrong with your screen?
He's in deep thought. That's what it is.
I'm good.
Are you contemplating the finer? Is that what you're doing?
I'm trying to understand what she meant by fine.
He's in deep thought or something.
Well, she is a pretty lady now. I mean, you know, let's not.
I'm trying to figure out what Mama Noise talking about.
She's a pretty lady. So,
but she's not pretty. She's finer.
But you already spoken for her.
Who?
You.
Who told you that?
Really?
You told us that. You said you married to a black woman and you're proud, and you told a white woman she couldn't have you and all that. Remember that?
I don't remember.
You do know I drink, right?
I am aware of that.
I'm liable to say some crazy shit sometimes.
Oh wow!
One of those moments.
Just came in with the breakfast and just kicked down the door with it, did you?
What is wrong with him coming in like this, Mama? No, it's not like it's any.
I know you missed it.
I did miss it. I missed it a lot. He is my brother in custody.
So my understanding is you guys have learned a lot about weed.
We talked a lot about weed just a minute ago. It was amazing. It was a phenomenal weed conversation. So much so that I on air committed to a deal. I've never done that before.
Committed to doing what?
I committed to a dealer. She's now my dealer. Roxanne. She's my weed man. Roxanne.
Nope. Well, I guess that was tit for tat because I said Mr. Roxanne. I meant
you was wrong for that.
I didn't know what her husband's name was.
Mr. Christian. Her last name is Christian. You could have said Christian, Mr. Roxanne.
No.
Wow, you said Mr. Roxanne.
She said
she tried to Kanye, my boy.
No, she said her husband's last name is Dancer, so her last name is Dancer, but she goes by her maiden name Christian.
Well, listen, I think she's a wonderful woman, and I can't wait to talk to her husband and find out.
Yeah, Zaria just inboxed me that she can't wait to try the tea.
The baby want to get high?
She says she wants to try it.
Oh Lord, my baby want to get high.
That is not.
Oh my God. And what can I say? I can't tell her no.
Well, and she's 21 years of age. Get ready to be 22.
Okay, we'll let the baby get high.
Is the baby that old?
Yeah,
she's
baby,
not the baby.
She's my baby.
Ananiah is the baby.
No, but she's still wow. I didn't know she was that old.
Yeah.
Why you gotta say it like that?
I guess we'll let her get high.
21.
Y'all getting the babies high. Y'all just getting the babies high.
Is that bad parenting when you come on a podcast and tell people that you gonna get your child high?
No, that is absolutely bad parenting.
It is a tad bit alarming. I will say that.
Okay,
cuz it's a pleasure to see you. It's a pleasure to see you, cuz Noise.
Same with you, brother. You know the deal.
Mr. Junior, sir.
You know the deal. Fuck the police.
Your co-pastor is giving you a shout out as well.
I don't want to talk to him after yesterday.
What happened yesterday?
Yesterday.
You gotta have a meeting with him. He say some off the wall shit. We got to be on.
Wait.
Huh?
What did I miss? I was trying to be discreetly in the chat yesterday. I didn't want my employer to know that I was in the chat. So
what happened yesterday that was so bad that you?
I'm gonna keep it between just the two of us because I don't want to put our business out here in these streets.
Okay, all right.
Yeah,
don't start a church like you just gotta have a church split.
Fine, I'll be quiet. Oh no!
Wow, this is escalating.
You know what I mean?
Do we need to do a counseling session?
You know what I mean?
We need to do this in the messenger. What is happening? Not in
No. You know what? We need a church meeting. Is what we need.
Oh no!
Ron, if you get a chance to log on.
No church meeting because all the church meetings I've been into, somebody either brought a gun or they ended up fighting. So we don't want to do a church meeting.
What the hell? That's a level 2. What the hell? That's a level 2. What the hell?
Is that level 2? Okay, fair enough.
What is going on in Jackson, man?
I'm not sure what church it is you attended.
I'm froze again.
And it's froze with your face froze.
Man, go.
What?
It's a good reason.
God is unhappy with your praise.
See,
he freezes you up. That's what it
is. See,
Lord,
that's God's way of saying lies.
My internet just won't let me be great. I guess. I don't know.
Apparently, your stuff is freezing, bro.
A lot's
changed.
We need to work
this out. We need to work this out with Ron. We can't have two pastors publicly feuding like this.
Publicly.
Maybe the F stood for fellowship. Fellowship you too.
Or it could be
somebody's walking towards your car, Mr. Albee.
No, I might get jacked up in a minute. Anything's liable to happen in Louisville.
Oh my, this is
we all good.
I don't know. I look like some girl that's probably trying to be like, "What's up?"
No, some girl trying to go get her bus and go pick up her kids.
She's like, "Hey, boo, what you doing?"
Ron said that's what happens when you don't bring the right amount to the building fund.
Oh my! This is a money issue. Are y'all feuding over money?
Dang.
Don't let money come between the great church. That's not a good reason.
Ron
People
is
don't
saying
let money.
Ron is saying he know what he counted, but that's not what was deposited.
Don't let money change you.
When they counted in the back, it was different. And then when it got to the bank, looked at the bank deposit. It was like, wait.
David said, Seth said, huh?
Oh my gosh. Oh gosh, look what you done.
Hey, I gotta ask y'all a question. I got a story that I want to throw at y'all. Did y'all hear about that Navy sailor who came home and saw his beautiful wife underneath some other dude? He was driving a hole through her, and he put three bullets in her.
No.
Tyler Lamar Jenkins came home and saw his wife being drugged through, and he said, "Oh, is this what we're doing?" So he shot the dude, Timothy Paul Talley. He shot him, and then when the police got there, he said, "Well, the gun's over there. I mean, if you need it." Like
so he didn't do anything to her?
No, he didn't kill her. Well, he wanted her. He didn't want the guy.
but the guy didn't betray him.
No, the guy didn't betray him. But he was dragging. He was sticking his blessings inside his woman's honor.
If they live,
we watched the video on that. Now the instructions said, go downstairs, lay on the couch, and the next morning you wake up and you tell her, now bitch, I owe you one.
I owe you one. That's what he didn't see the video in time, clearly, because he's a Navy sailor, so he was away. He didn't know. So by the time he got back, he's like, "Oh, this is what we're doing." So then he put 3 hot ones in him.
You say he didn't know the guy. If they were on base, he could have known the guy.
Could have.
I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know. I didn't see anything that said he knew him.
If you catch your friend digging in your wife's guts,
right?
Would you shoot him?
Woo! Woo!
Bro, it's gotta be a 2-for-1, man. If you're gonna do it, it's gotta be a 2-for-1. Buy one, get one free, something.
I feel like you're leaving witnesses if you don't shoot them both. So I feel like you gotta you're making it hard for yourself.
Right. Like, what is your end game? Is your end game to get away with it? What is your end game?
Well, clearly his end game was just to alleviate himself from the situation.
He stayed there with the gun there.
He stayed there with the gun and told the cops when they got there, what's the problem? Matter of fact, the quote was, "What's the problem? What am I doing wrong?" And then he told him the gun is over there. He admitted to it immediately. He said, "I shot this nigga 3 times. I don't understand what are we talking about here? The nigga is in my wife. I shot him."
So what should the justice system do with him?
I don't know. That's the struggle that I'm having because he has a clear case for temporary insanity. Like I feel like this is cut and dry. This is textbook temporary insanity. So I feel like there's a path for him to get off from this. He lost his mind momentarily, put 3 hot ones in the dude, and then caught himself and realized, oh man, this is bad. So now he just gotta tell the police. I don't know.
If broke and run, then that means he knew he messed up. He was criminal liable.
Right. It comes off as intent.
Right. But if you stay there and the gun is there,
and then you tell them when you get there, hey, the gun's over in the corner.
Over there, man.
That feels like temporary insanity.
I walked up in here. I found an intruder, and that intruder fell inside of my wife.
Now, if they collaborated on the story, they could have said it was rape, and then he could have been like, he was raping her. And so then I shot him, and then she's like, I'll call rape if you let me live. And she was like, okay. He was like, okay, that sounds good. Today. Would I shoot my friend? Well, let's be clear. This nigga is not my friend. If he's plugging my wife, we are not friends.
I mean, if he has slid his feet underneath your table and broke bread with you in your home, and you catch him up in there, pile driving your wife.
I don't know if I can call him a friend still. Like that's obviously I put 3 hot ones in him, so we ain't friends.
At one point, you thought he was something. He was up in there breaking bread. Now, when we break bread, now we move into the next level.
That's true.
You something.
Yeah.
Well, this let me be clear. This story does not say that they were friends.
No.
It just says that he was in there.
There's a good chance he knew him if they were on base. Good chance.
It doesn't say they were on base though. It says their Virginia home. Their home was in Virginia Beach. So it doesn't say, is there a base in Virginia Beach?
Huge.
I was gonna say absolutely.
Okay, so I don't know. This is interesting.
Especially Navy.
Yeah, biggest one. Maybe outside of San Diego.
San Diego, right. Well, I don't know. I don't know what to think about this. It's a fascinating story to me because he stayed and told him where the gun was. So he essentially gave himself up. Right now he's being charged with 2nd-degree murder and is being held without bail.
You can't dismiss it because the man is dead. But at the same time, I would think any judge, any jury, man, you walked up in. Well, how long did it take you to go get your gun? I mean, what? Well,
it depends on where he was coming from. If he was coming from,
you can't have a gun on base.
The Navy people don't have guns.
Well, the laws may have changed, but back in the day, you couldn't have a gun on base.
Oh wow. Maybe it was in the same closet.
Because there's so much domestic violence on base.
Maybe, what do you mean? Wait. You buried the lead. There's so much domestic violence on base?
Yeah, man. Sure.
Why is there so much domestic? Why is that a thing?
Because of what you just said. There's a whole lot of bang bang going on around there.
Oh, people gone.
Husband goes off, wife goes off, spouse stays back. It's a lot of, young, in shape, firm bodies. Everybody got the urge to merge. Mama knows why you're shaking your head. I'm telling you the truth.
I think, you know what, I guess immediately when you said that, it's like when I told my friend, I said, they got married early when I was in my 20s, and she had a very young military man, and he just scooped her off to Hawaii and to the base over there. And I told him, that's my friend. That's not where you want to take her to. You don't want to put her on a military base with a whole bunch of bodies like that, And I just said she wasn't ready to be married. I told him, and he didn't believe me. Then he called me and then crying on the phone. I said, I told you. Listen, I know my friend.
Can I ask how he was crying? Did he call you like, oh my God, I can't believe she did this? Or was it more like she did on me, oh my God? Was it more like a No, I'm asking, I don't know.
It was bad. He was
it like the second one? Was it them heave cries? That's bad.
It was
breath.
No, it wasn't that one. It was the first one.
I saw her leg in the air.
He said he couldn't find his wife, and I said, I'm gonna tell you why you can't find her, is because she done found one of them Hawaiian dudes, or she done found one of them military men. I'm just telling you.
Not the Hawaiian dude, no.
The Polynesian dude?
No, it was a military guy.
Well, I mean,
one of them big thick Hawaiian brothers.
It could have been a Samoan.
No,
that's not Hawaiian.
It could have been Wakaya Manakatoya Makoya.
Nope.
Samoans and Hawaiians are two different islands.
It is, but they Polynesian, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now we can work out some of these issues. But before we get to the issues, This kind of coincides with another story. So this has been a story been going on for years. Lord, y'all remember Lorenzen Wright in Memphis that played for Memphis, the basketball player, and his wife. So prosecutors are now saying that she and a friend chased him down in the woods and shot him. Which, by the way, they've been saying she's responsible for his death all along. That's been the thing the whole time. But now the prosecutors are saying that her and the defendant Billy Ray Turner shot and killed her husband. And she got Turner and her cousin, Jimmy Martinto, to plot, execute, and cover up the murder back in July 19th of 2010.
Because wasn't that dude like a boyfriend or something of hers? She was
something like that. He was like a boyfriend or something, yeah. So she got her lover, Mr. Turner, and they pulled it off. So she's in jail now.
I thought you'd been there for
30 years in prison. But they're trying to get, I guess they're trying to get Turner.
Al Green had a song about that back in the day. Say, love will make you do right. Love will make you do wrong.
Make you do wrong.
Clearly. I'm just trying to figure out what in the world caused you to do wrong like that to that man.
Only part of that song he forgot was the insurance policy. Because I think that's one of the reasons she did what she did was it was a big insurance policy that she got off of him.
But I don't understand that though, Ron, because she making the boy making his own money. Like the boy he's an NBA player. So it wasn't like he was broke. I don't know. Some people, I just don't know what they want.
I don't.
Well, wasn't he leaving her or was about to leave her or something like that?
Maybe he was about to leave her. She's like,
yeah.
I mean, maybe she was like, nah, you can't leave.
I think that's the story. I had to go back and look at it, but it was something crazy.
That didn't they do a whole
movie
crime documentary on the story?
You would know, Mama Noise.
Yes, they did, Mama Noise. Yes, they did.
You be knowing about the documentary.
Thank you, Kyrie. You know what, Mr. Noise?
I don't be knowing. You be knowing.
Think you appreciate my desire for more education.
I appreciate everything you do.
I'm wanting to know about these different things, learning and understanding, and you poo-poo on my documentaries.
I would never poo-poo on anything.
Do you think a person that is genuinely, deeply a conspiracy theorist should watch documentaries?
Oh, that's a great question.
Do you think it feeds?
I think it helps clarify the fact of my conspiracy theories or not.
I won't lie to you because it's dangerous.
Although when you were watching the hip hop documentaries with me, you was like, "Oh, I didn't know it." Did it make you say, "Oh, we shouldn't watch this"? Because
I didn't say I didn't know nothing.
You did.
What I said was, oh, that clarifies some things. I didn't know the specifics of that circumstance.
Yeah, but you said you didn't know, so that still means you said you didn't know.
What does it have to do with you trying to deflect and knowing that these conspiracy theories that you be coming up with?
Because you was watching the documentary with me, and then you said,
I didn't come up with conspiracy theories. I came up with actual factual information.
How do you know that all of those aren't facts? Those could be facts. They might not be conspiracy theories.
You say you, Mama Noise. Say
it's a conspiracy theory when they don't want you to know the truth. That's just alleged.
So, Jay, as you can see, you're answering your own question. Your question is being answered in real time of the dangers of a person that watches a lot of documentaries.
You know what?
But it also teaches you how to get rid of your body.
I don't like that part either. I don't like that part either, Ron. I'm gonna lie to you. I won't lie to you. Okay, I gotta ask this question because it's kind of the elephant in the room right now.
No, that's not the elephant.
What are y'all beefing about? Like, what are you in? Well, you said F you to him on the chat.
Well, it doesn't work if he's not on.
You muted, Ron. You muted.
Well, I wanted to get that out before he said F me, so I figured.
Okay, that was a preemptive F you. I got you. Okay, I got you.
I had to get my fuck yous out the way early.
Oh my.
Okay. So where's Cuz? Cuz, if you could come back to the screen.
I ain't do nothing yesterday. I don't remember.
I don't remember either. That anything that required beefing that the way on the level.
Okay, until he comes back, we have Big Brother listening to our conversation, and it happened to plug in that Mike Tyson has a cannabis brand of gummies that's shaped like an ear.
Well, he's been at that.
Yeah,
that's not new.
Yeah, well, I'm saying shaped like an ear. I mean, shouldn't somebody have a problem with that?
No, it's branding.
Yeah.
Shouldn't Evander Holyfield be like, really? I should have a portion of this.
Now, so
Evander Holyfield would be the teeth.
He detached some of the man's ear.
He probably put up some of the money for it. So
you know what?
He probably heard what Mike was doing and put up some of the money for it.
Like, you gonna talk about my ear shit? I need some funds with this.
Yeah,
that's all I'm saying.
Okay, he's back now. I don't want to talk about Evander Holyfield. I want to work out what's going on and slide in.
There's no problem with slide in.
Apparently there is, because the pastor came on with big energy, angry energy.
No angry energy. What are you talking about?
You said, listen, y'all know the show is recorded. You said that you was pissed off at your co-pastor. Or something he said yesterday. What did he say that was so bad?
See, unlike my relationship with my wife that I air on here all the time.
Okay.
I'm not going to air my private discussions with.
Wait a minute. Hold it.
Cause see what it is I have to lift my co-pastor up. He new to this game, and I gotta make sure I protect him until he is fully aware.
New to what game? The pastor game?
Christianity.
Nah, I ain't gonna never be new to that game. I left a long time ago.
See what I mean? What you can't do, Pastor, is tell them that you ain't no Christian.
You said that you ain't no Christian. You said that on air. This show is recorded.
No, listen, I love Jesus.
Okay, I love Jesus. I just don't like the people who do that other thing in that building.
I'm like Gandhi. I love the principles of God and Jesus. I just don't like Christians.
Well, so we agree.
I love Christianity. I just don't like Christians.
Okay.
Tomatoes, marbles.
So are y'all gonna be okay? Is what we're trying. I think that's all the noisemakers care about. Are y'all
you have Wahite churches here in Dallas, Texas, embracing Donald Trump.
Right.
I can't be a part of that.
Right. So are y'all gonna be able to work out what y'all got going on? That's the real question.
I mean, it's like any other marriage. It's dysfunctional, but it's gonna work out. Don't worry about it.
Gonna work out. Okay, all right.
Yeah, if you don't have some dysfunction in your marriage, it ain't a real marriage. You gotta have dysfunction in your marriage.
Okay, all right, fair enough. I got a good one for y'all. Y'all ready for this one? Do y'all know who Joe Marie Payton is?
No.
Joe Marie Payton is the mother from Family Matters. Harriet.
Oh.
And they're talking about a Family Matters reboot. So they want to bring the whole gang and do a reboot. And
you wanted the old girl to be in the show.
Well, she said, I'll do a reboot, but that little girl that y'all just killed off when she went up the stairs and she never came back, I need her back on the show.
That's fair.
How do you do that though? Like, how do you bring her back? She was gone for like 5 seasons.
She never died. I mean, they just
right. They never said she died. She just went up the stairs and never came back down again.
What show is this again?
Family Matters. Steve Urkel. They killed that little girl off. She went up them stairs.
Which little girl?
She went up there with the auntie, and then the auntie was gone, and so was she.
His little sister?
The youngest sister. Yeah.
She got shipped. She got shipped off the boarding school. They just didn't tell her about it.
Next time we saw her, she was doing porn.
Yeah.
It's like, how she end up going up the stairs to do porn? What kind of stairway leads to porn? That's a different kind of stairway.
That's definitely not the stairway to heaven.
That's not the stairway. Well, stairway to somebody's heaven, just not not the one maybe where Jesus resides. But somebody maybe called out the name of God in that moment.
They do call Jesus' name when they get to the top of them rooms.
Sometimes they call Jesus' name. Is what I'm saying. Mama knows why you making that face. Mama, if you love me, you would pump up your husband. You wouldn't make that face like that.
Yeah, that's just so wrong.
Yeah, she do it to me all the time.
Unmute. Well, I don't want her pumping you up. I want her pumping me up. The pump up is for me. It's not for you. She can tell you you're a nice guy, but she should be pumping you up. That's how niggas get 3 shots in the back. Don't do that. Don't do that. Yeah.
No, she wasn't pumping him up. He was pumping her up.
He was pumping her up. That's what. Mom knows. Why are you muted? What are you doing? Are you watching a documentary right now?
No.
What are you doing? You drifted away from the show.
I'm listening to y'all, and you up there talking about I need you to 3 shots in the back of it.
I'm trying to understand what's going on in the world today, is what I'm saying.
That's you trying to get understanding?
Listen, without understanding, how can you move forward? And the Bible said, glory, with all thy getting, get understanding. And that's what I'm trying to do, get understanding.
Okay.
All right. You don't think I'm trying to get understanding, Mama Noise?
Not in this moment, no.
Well, you don't know me very well then. I'm trying to get understanding.
Oh, I know you.
I'm trying to get understanding because that's what
23 years, I know you.
Okay. All right. I'm trying to get understanding, Mom. I really am. What else was I gonna say? There was something else I was gonna bring up.
What are you?
I'm glad to see Slide In that was able to work through the problem.
What happened to?
I don't know. He may have had to go to a meeting or something, but I'm glad. I'm just glad y'all were able to work out whatever your problems were.
Oh, we'll be fine.
That easy. That was good. Man. Mama Noise, I forgot to mention on Monday my condolences to Khalees.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah, her husband passed. Mike Mora. He has stomach cancer and passed. He's 37 years old. He's a young man.
Who was Khalees?
The singer that brought her milkshake her milkshake brought the boys to the yard.
Damn right.
That's her song. Mama Noise, why are you making that face?
I never have liked this.
Why you didn't like Khalees' song? I love that song. My milkshake brings all the boys to the yard, and they're like, it's better than yours. Better than...
Oh, the word is their life?
I don't know. I don't know what the word is.
That's him making up the words because he don't know the song.
I do know the song. My milkshake brings all the boys to the yard.
And that's where it is because you don't know the rest of the words.
Hold on, Mama Noise. I don't think you do.
Damn right.
Oh, my gosh.
We're going to find out today. My milkshake brings out, yes, damn right. It's better than yours. I can teach you, but I have to charge. That's what it is.
So that sounds like prostitution.
Come tomato. I don't understand what we're talking
I teach you, but to get the charge? What is that?
No, she just said she's going to conduct a class.
That's prostitution.
Hey, no, prostitution is a class. She's trying to teach the ladies how to get their milkshakes to bring people to the yard. It's a class. It's like going to night school. Welcome to Milkshake 101. I'm be a teacher, Khalees, and take your pants off and wave them in the air, and I'm gonna teach you how to bring your milkshake to the yard.
That's disturbing.
Is it though? I mean, if they come to the yard, what difference does it make?
That's still disturbing. See, Now you got your child in the chat talking about what exactly are we talking about here?
Well, now listen, that's a conversation for you and your mama after the show.
Now you want to try to talk about you and your mother. Boy.
That conversation has nothing to do with me. Y'all can work that out as ladies do.
See that, boy? Now it's ladies. Boy.
Should you be raising your child as a mother?
What?
To have your daughter bring a good milkshake to her marriage.
Okay, that's just too much. I can't take it.
No, I'm asking a question. In what level should a mother educate her daughter to be prepared for a marital circumstance? That's a good question. Should the child
that's one of the problems in society now. Mothers aren't teaching their daughters.
So the child just going in blank, don't know nothing. They just like, she don't know where nothing goes. She don't know how to do nothing. She's just in there flying blind.
One of the problems right now.
No, I would tell them.
So are you gonna hold a class for the girls premarital?
I mean, let me tell you something. Let's be clear. I talk to our daughter to the point where I don't even come to you and share all the questions and all the conversations that we have. But I talk to her enough to the point where she's like, I know when I get married that, the sex is a beautiful thing and I'm going to enjoy it because that's what my parents have told me and they enjoy it as well. So, I mean, that's not a conversation I'd ever be able to have with my mother even to this day.
Should mamas tell their daughters about the head game?
Good question.
I think they should tell them about that.
Watch out now. Be careful. Be careful.
I'm saying that as a married woman, I should tell them that. I'm not trying to put them up on nothing like that if they're gonna be out here just random dudes.
Right, you're not trying to give them thought information.
Right. Yeah. I'm saying as his wife, hey. I'm saying as his wife, handle your business, rock the mic. But I'm saying as a single woman, don't do it because you're going to be giving boyfriend or random dude the type of privilege that only a husband should have.
You preach it now, Mama Noise. You are preaching. You preach that thing. I like what you just said when you said it.
That's true.
Even though I think I talk to him too much sometimes because I be talking to him so much, they be like, Mama Gray, give us a story.
They think that today. They won't think that growing up. They'll be glad that because when they start talking to their friends and their friends never got that conversation, they'll be like, wow, I'm grateful that my mom really talked to me about this and prepared me for this.
That comes later.
I try to because, man, I remember being their age. It's vivid to me that trying to ask my mama those questions. This is no shade to my mom, but my mom was like, "What? What you trying to ask these questions for? What you trying to do? What you trying to?" And it's like, okay, it's
Mama Noise, you realize every time you say there's no shade to a person or to a situation that you're talking about, you actually end up shading the shit out of that person in that situation. Like there's complete and total shade in that.
I'm just simply saying.
I'm just saying
that it was vivid to me just trying to get answers and understanding.
Right.
And if, I tell my kids, like I tell anyone else that I've taught in the past, I've said, you should be able to ask those questions and get answers without it being your fault for asking. And see, parents don't understand the weight of their words. That if daddy tells me that, or if mom tells me that, we think that, it's just something that's going to be brushed off. But they really and truly, my mother could have told me, Kenyatta, if you have sex before marriage, it's going to fall off. This is going to happen, or it's going to cave in, or whatever. I would have believed anything she told me because it was like whatever mama said was the gospel. But she was like, let me take you down there to them people. Let them tell you what,
Have you ever considered that your mom didn't really know how to explain it? And maybe she wasn't very good at it herself. And that's why she didn't try to give you bad information.
Wait a minute. Wait, stop. Are we all having the same conversation here?
Yeah.
She wasn't that good at what?
She might have been good at sex. Maybe she was like, I'm not good at this. I can't explain to you how to do something that I'm not good at.
That didn't make sense.
What do you mean it don't make sense? You don't have to be good at sex to have a baby.
What's good at sex for a woman? What's good at sex?
I don't know. Whatever they consider good. Maybe they don't feel like their performance is of a nature that is very good. I don't know. I'm asking questions.
That's the problem in society. These men have convinced these women, I hear, that they need to raise their game up in the bedroom.
Oh, here he comes. It didn't take long, ladies and gentlemen. He's back.
You got these women out here trying to swing from chandeliers and stuck a golf ball through a water hose. I mean, these women out here trying to do everything they can to please a man.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying maybe she doesn't have a confidence in herself.
But really, truthfully, bad sex?
We've talked about this before. Bad sex does exist.
From a woman?
From both.
No, from a woman. We're talking about, we said a mama to daughter. A mama can't tell her daughter about sex because she don't know how to have sex?
No, what I said was, first of all, that ain't what I said. That's why your screen froze, because your screen don't want to participate in this lie you just told. What I said was maybe her mom doesn't feel confident in her sex game enough to explain it to her daughter. Maybe she's like, I don't know if I'm doing it all the way right, the way it's supposed to.
Somebody has convinced a woman that she got bad sex. That she ain't.
Maybe she convinced herself. Maybe she just doesn't feel like she's good.
Did it
Maybe she's like, I don't know if I'm supposed to do it this way. Like,
did it climax?
Do what?
Did it climax?
Well, I mean, does it take that much for a guy to climax? I mean, really.
Thank you. That's my point.
But that's what I'm saying. That don't mean the guy walks away thinking it was good just because, you know.
How does a guy? This is an honest conversation between me and you, Mama knows you just this part. How does a guy consider sex to be good or bad?
Comparatively.
What needs to happen in order for it to be good, and what doesn't happen that makes it bad?
Comparatively, he's looking at, and this is an unfortunate statement that I'm making, by the way. This was not the original design. So let me just start by saying that.
Okay.
But comparatively, he's looking at one experience that he's had compared to another. So in other words, this girl made me feel like X, Y, and Z, and this girl made me feel like 1, 2, and 3. And I prefer X, Y, and Z over 1, 2, and 3. That's the only reason why you know whether something is good or bad in your mind.
But that's a total fool's game.
I never said it wasn't. That's why I said she feels like she has convinced herself that, I'm not as good as I thought I was because he didn't climb the walls like boy A did or man B did. So, you know, you never know what a person's self-esteem is around their sex game. Maybe they just lay there and they don't make noise and they just, you know, they just like, oh, I'm here, but I don't know what to do with my hands. You know, so
I think when we used to have, I know some people think I'm flexing when I do that. It's not a flex; it's a fact. The fact was that we taught the classes, we taught marriage, the marriage classes, and in the marriage classes, it was astounding to see how many people are married and don't have conversations about sex, about what they like in sex, or any of that. It's like what? And so many people felt that so many things were sin, so they never had a enjoyable sex life because they were they never had the conversation, or they thought everything, you know, I'm a Christian, and so because I'm a Christian, then that must be against God. So I'm not gonna.
When you say they, Mama Noise, you saying that the man didn't enjoy sex with his wife, or the woman didn't enjoy the sex?
There have been men we've talked to that said they didn't enjoy it.
Huh?
There have been men we've talked to that said they didn't enjoy it.
He didn't enjoy his wife's poo-poo?
Well,
that's what he said.
If all it's sort of like what I think one of you said, that if somebody's just laying there and there's no engagement, there's no enjoyment, it's just like, oh girl, I keep referencing old girl from The Color Purple that said, well, he just got on top of me and did his business. Well, if that's the way that your sex is for you and your spouse, and y'all have been married a long time, there is a problem. That means I'm just doing this because that's my wifely duty. What in the world? Sex is supposed to be enjoyable. It's supposed to be.
I think it's easier for a woman to walk away dissatisfied than a man. I do think that, Jay. But there are men that are comparative type dudes. Like they'll say, well, she did this and she got the guac 9,000 with the twister at the end. And so it was amazing when she did that. And that was, I appreciated her for that. So
listen, the truth of the matter is, and I know some in the chat may disagree, or some on here may disagree. But you as a woman, let me be clear to you now. You as a woman cannot create the same sexual experience for a man every single time. Period. You cannot
create the same.
His nut will be different each time. Sometimes they're real intense. Sometimes they blow your top off. Sometimes it was just a nut. Now, I'm telling you how men measure good sex.
Mm-hmm.
If that nut blow his top off and knock his ass right down to sleep, then it was good as gold.
Okay, well then the reason why I hear what you're saying, but I don't understand what you're saying, is because all I can hear in the back of my mind is when we had all the guys on here and they were talking about there is a such thing as trash sex from women. So then if it's all the same, then how is there trash sex?
That's what Jay said. Anybody listening to Jay?
Yeah, I mean, Mama knows honestly, all trash sex really is. When a guy say trash sex is, was she missionary all the time, or was she doing tricks? A nut's a nut.
Oh,
nut's a nut.
Right. It's the performance. It's
the
not
performance.
It's not the dive into the pool. It's the way you got there.
Oh, okay.
The
lead up, the foreplay.
Right. Did you do a twist? Did you do a backwards flip? Did you scream out my name and were you able to say the alphabet backwards? How did we get to the end of the thing? If it was a wonderful trip to the end, then a guy will typically say this was a masterful performance. But if it was just a slow, no frills, no excitement, then they're like, it was okay.
Even with all of that, Mr. Noiz, I agree with you and the fellow pastor, but even with all of her tricks, if the nut was just a nut and it didn't blow your top off,
right?
It was sex.
It was just okay, right?
But if she had some really, 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 I'm talking too much now. Get myself excited. Hold on.
Gather yourself. Pull yourself together. It feels
if
like
she had some extremely wet, hey, listen, I'm talking to you, Mama. I'll tell you.
I'm listening.
If she had that and it blew his top off, it don't matter how many tricks she pulled. He gonna think that thing is golden, not necessarily her behavior.
Okay,
but it's golden.
The question, the reason why I'm asking the question is because I was on a panel of it was Christian women, and they needed people that were going to people on the panel, and so they was like, okay, tell us, they were just asking random questions, and it was just blowing my mind the type of question people would rather in Christianity just be in silence about having no pleasure in sex than just having conversation. Because you came in and you like, okay, I got this Bible, I'm living by the word of God, and I want to do right by God. But you don't understand what the scripture says about sex. It's supposed to be a pleasurable experience. It's supposed to be you can knock each other's socks off. But if you keep going around like another one, I'm not going to talk about it because I'm a woman of God, or I'm not going to talk about it because I'm a man of God, or whatever. And y'all going to walk around having some serious challenges when all you got to do is just have the conversation. Stop trying to act like you so sanctimonious and have the conversation.
There is freak in all of us.
But they try to act like that's not the case.
Preach.
Some folks just don't want you to know that they got that freak in them.
Well, but I mean, yeah. Well, and that's the part, is to have that conversation. Whenever I was invited, I many years ago, but I was invited to a women's conference, and I was the speaker on sacred sex. Man, what was funny that I found out later is that the husbands was hiding out in the whatever the extra seating upstairs, trying to overhear. It was a women's conference, but they was hiding out upstairs. They was like, "We want to know what you're telling the women down there." And I was like, "You need to talk. You got to talk about what you want, what you need. Because I'm gonna tell you something. You can walk around and try to suppress it all you want to, but in my opinion, I'm not a ologist like a lot of people claim. But I'm saying is that you can walk around and suppress it all you want to, but it seeps out in other directions, in other ways.
You keep doing that, yeah, it's gonna get backed up.
I agree with what you're saying, Mama Noah.
Damn.
That you shouldn't suppress. I'm so tired of freezing. That you shouldn't suppress what you like and what you want from your spouse. But you also have to understand where some of that desire comes from.
Mm-hmm.
And understand that a lot of that is because of pornography.
Oh, yeah.
So you have to be careful with that. Just because you've seen it happen doesn't mean it's supposed to happen in your book.
I don't know if that's true.
Oh, yeah.
Really?
We get that.
Not completely.
Ideas from.
Not completely. I disagree with that. I think that's a part of it, but some of it is just through your own personal experiences and preferences. Like again, this is unfortunate circumstances. This was not the original design, but I think you have experiences in your life, and you begin to build a comparative type of ideology toward those experiences. So you say, well, she did it this way. She did this. She responded this way. So you're looking for similar experiences as you continue to go forward. And the more things you have to compare this person to, the worse the comparisons become, because you like, well, girl 24 did this, or girl 17 did this, and girl 9 did this. So it's a bad thing. It's not a good thing at all. But that's kind of where I think most men build their ideologies from, or what their likes and because pornography is only going to give you the visual thing, but you only learn your likes and dislikes from the experience itself.
But if that's the case, then why do people get addicted to pornography?
Well, because it's visually stimulating. But it doesn't. But just because you saw it and it stimulates you, that doesn't mean that's what you really actually like. That just means it excited you in that moment. You don't know you like it until you actually have it done.
So you're saying that men are not.
Mr. Noah's a lot more men are bringing pornography into their.
They're trying to. I don't disagree with that. I'm saying, but until they actually do it, they don't know that they like it or dislike it. You can only.
Right. That's true.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like you. So.
But pornography is not doing much more than what most people do in their bedroom. What crazy, besides the bondage and stuff, and the hell, there's people doing that too. I mean, normal pornography is the same crap you normally do anyway.
Most of it is centered around head jobs.
Yeah,
he wants her to be able to do what that girl did on that video. Yeah.
But see, if he hadn't seen the video,
exactly,
he still would want that. But the problem is, I ain't gonna say it.
Well, I'll say it. The problem is they all lying. Like it ain't even a lot of that ain't even real. It's just acting. Like he responded a certain way and she responded a certain way. Like this is some bull. They not. They not even being. It's not being even real. Yeah.
It's entertainment.
men are okay. So what we essentially are saying is some men are just stupid when it comes to sex.
There you go. There you go.
We just approach it from a very unrealistic
and in my opinion, before you get married,
and women too. I don't want you to say
women too. There you go.
And women too. I feel like for our single listening audience, I feel like this is something that should be addressed way before you consider, not way before, but if you're talking about marriage at some point, this needs to be discussed ahead of time, because we've discovered in a lot of the marital counseling, premarital counseling we've done, and some of the counseling once they've gotten married, they did not have the discussion. They did not, the honest discussion. If you like all this old, I know this is extreme, but I'm saying,
be careful.
Careful now.
I know it's extreme, but you know when we had that, we talked about that Tyler Perry thing where old boy was saying, wearing the not wearing the and the okay, but I'm saying that particular one is stuff, the type of stuff that it was going on in that particular show's episode.
The hell.
Type of stuff you're into, you need to have that conversation in advance, and that is definitely a deal breaker. But I'm just saying, it's still.
I think I know why he's freezing. I think we're not gonna be able to play the side videos today for whatever reason. It's affecting Cuz.
The side videos are
StreamYard. Because every time I play the side video, he gets frozen. So, Cuz, I apologize. I don't think it's you. I think it's the side. I think it's StreamYard. It's got something going on with the side video today.
Okay.
So we're not gonna play no drops today, y'all.
Okay. So the point simply is that you have to have the conversation, honest conversation ahead of time. Guys, if you done been soaking your head in a bunch of pornography and all that type of stuff, and you saying, man, when we get married, what I'm gonna want it.
Soaking your head.
Yeah. Soaking your head is aggressive.
You've been watching a bunch.
But you said soaking your head.
That's what I said.
Like we just stuck it in something and just left it there.
Then you just totally absorbed in.
That's not any better. That's actually worse.
Anyway,
so you said they done talk. So what sex were they having before then? They was doing something. So they were not enjoying what they was already doing.
Well, it was pretty vanilla.
So they went in on level 1, got married. They want to go level 2.
Oh, then you think because you're married now that you should be able to swing from the chandeliers, and then your wife came into the situation saying that's not what we talked about. Now that we married, long as you get some, you should be cool. And you like, okay, I don't want just some. I would like the experience. I would like a full-fledged experience with you instead of just breaking me off.
Listen. The problem with the conversation, Mama Noise, and I understand where you're going with that, but the reality is, for most decent women now, I ain't talking about them hoes that just like to fuck. I ain't talking about them. I'm talking about most. I said something wrong. Oh.
Stop.
I'm sorry.
That was punishment.
You shocked? No, it was just I forgot. You shocked me.
Your tail.
Going forward, I'll be the drop. So go back out, come back in. And
hold on. Let me finish this thought before I forget.
Okay, go ahead.
The problem with the conversations is for most women, good sex really doesn't begin until she is comfortable in her relationship. Most women hold back from really good lovemaking because they're not really sure if you are going to be. It's like Mama Noah said, some things you have to save for your husband, your spouse. The problem is, even when we get married, because of the percentage of divorce rates that happen so quickly, she's still not secure in her relationship.
No, it takes time.
It takes time.
If you're not going to marry typically, and here's a statement that's weird but true. You're not going to marry the freak that you want. You're going to marry the person that she feels comfortable being in that moment. But even a person with experience is not going to let all of their inhibitions down,
right,
until they feel like there is a real security and trust in this relationship. Let me say something. I've heard couples talk about, we got to a place where we like to pee on each other. We like to do this and we like to do that. They got there because there's a trust, there's a bond, there's a connection. Whatever your bond and connection and levels of comfort become, that's what you're willing to do in this sexual relationship. But if you never build that, then you're not going to get past basic stuff, I guess. I don't want to say boring.
What you mean peeing on each other? What you get in the bathtub and pee? Because you better not be in the
well,
bed.
listen, no. You know, there are people out there that like them
golden showers.
Golden showers.
You better get your ass in the shower. You better not be peeing in my damn bed.
Damn.
Talking about having sex.
But see, again, that's a good example. If you're into that type of stuff, and then as soon as you get married, you saying now I can go ahead and go all in. Okay, wait a minute.
Mama knows if you couldn't piss on her when y'all was dating, you ain't gonna piss on her when y'all was married.
But I'm saying that listen to me.
That's not true. That's not true.
There are women and men that withhold. Then when they get married, I had to counsel this one lady that she told her would-be husband, she gassed him up, boy, with octane and 93 and had him so full that, man, when I get married, that's all I need to do is get married. It's gonna be on. Then as soon as she got married, she tried to pull the Bible card and was like, I'm a Christian woman and good girls don't. What the? Okay.
No, I understand what y'all saying.
Strict.
I know what you're saying, but pissing on people, I don't know. Hell no.
Listen, I'm telling you, I can tell you the name of a couple right now that they didn't do it prior to, but they once they got comfortable with each other, that she was like, I want to try this. And he was like, are you sure?
About peeing on somebody.
Well, listen, listen.
I might catch a case. I need bail money.
Albie said don't, but it's the truth. People do say a whole bunch of stuff in the premarital part, and you be like, "Oh, snap, it's gonna be popping."
But that's how some people feel about oral sex. They feel like, "Wait a minute, you didn't mention that before we got married that that was going to be a requirement of me, and so I don't know if I'm comfortable with that." And
right?
So they think that. Listen, we ain't got to go to some extremes about like golden showers. We can talk about just oral sex. And some people are not on board. They're not comfortable with that.
So we would all agree that golden showers is extreme.
To me, it is extreme. Now,
because what if you ain't properly hydrated and your shit's strong as hell?
Well, if you're into that, it don't matter. Maybe that's a plus.
I can't. That's
right. To some people, that's a plus. It's like, oh, asparagus. That's wonderful.
That's bananas.
But again, that's their bedroom.
Yeah,
what they do in their bedroom. That's their bedroom. You don't bring that over here, but that's their bedroom. But they may look at our bedroom and go, "Well, we would never do that, in front of ducks like that. That's just not good." And the ducks
on the ceiling and shit.
Yeah, they may not. They may think that's ridiculous, but I think you got to have open, honest, like you said, open, honest, purposeful conversations. And
we had this conversation sort of like this on Uncorked Wine one night, and some folks was like, "Look, don't even try to step to me for intimacy." But see, like I said, this has to happen in advance. Like, one of the ladies on the Uncorked Wine was like, "Look, don't even step to me unless you've showered. Don't even step to me with street clothes on. don't even step to me, without, doing this, and that. Okay, but that's a whole lot of, requirements for intimacy. So there's clearly no spontaneity if you got to go through the 5 bullet points before intimacy pops up.
Yeah.
So
it's hard to have sex with a germaphobe.
Oh my God! Yeah.
Oh my gosh! Well, then there's that.
Yeah.
There's that, and we don't even talk about the type of people that struggle in the area of trauma. The different people that we've counseled with trauma situations that we like. Look, your person, your spouse should never have to discover that you've had a traumatic situation sexually when it's time to have sex.
But let me say this. I don't know if sex is an easy thing to discuss. Because I think people, again, it goes back to what we said a minute ago. The level of trust that you have to just have the discussion is pretty high. Like, it's not a small thing. You gotta, which is why you probably need to see. I'm just kidding. I was just trying to advertise for Roxanne.
I was going to say, so it's not easy to talk about, but it's easy to do. You would do it before you talk about it.
Well, because doing it, I don't have to talk about it.
But I got to perform. Performance is more. I mean,
well, it depends on what you. But it depends on what you're trying to get, though, Ron. Some people are just trying to get what they get out of it, and they saying, guys are saying, "Well, I'm just trying to bust a quick nut or whatever," and women are saying, "Well, I'm just trying to get one too." So if you can get me there, now the problem is most men can't get them there.
But that's what I'm saying. So you're willing to just have sex, but not discuss what you like about.
That's right.
Listen. I don't know. You know what? No, I don't think we can handle it. I think
that's a Saturday night conversation.
I was gonna say on a Saturday night. I think for Uncorked Wine, I'm gonna see if I can get a representative from this store.
Okay, you know what? Let's just set it in motion now. Next Saturday night on Uncorked Wine, we going all in on the sex talk. We going all in.
Can we call it that?
What?
Can we call it Uncorked?
Nope.
We cannot. That is bad marketing.
I blame you for all of this, Jay.
That is bad marketing. But however, we will call it a raw, honest conversation tip on sex. We going all in. So put your kids to bed. Make sure there's a towel under the door to where they can breathe, but they can't listen to hear what you're saying. And so cuz. Oh, you be gone next week, won't you, cuz?
Next week?
Next Saturday. Will you be back?
He's going to be gone.
What's next Saturday?
That is the 26th.
I'll be gone.
Okay, then we got to wait because cuz got to be here. April 2nd. We'll do it April 2nd. Is that fair? Is that good?
The day after April Fool's Day.
Yeah, April 2nd. So we'll start advertising now. We're going to have a raw. We just gonna talk and have a conversation. Now, some of it's gonna be funny, but some of it's gonna be real serious.
No, so does that mean a protected sex conversation, not a raw sex conversation?
No, we're going raw. No, we listen, raw dogging it. We raw dogging it.
Well,
just lube.
Are we gonna include the video with Gabrielle Union?
No.
What video?
What video?
It was a podcaster that asked her about the groceries.
Nah, see,
listen, we got 2 weeks to do the research. So whatever y'all send me, that's what we do. Matter of fact, I'll make another declaration. All of the picnic and pass will be centered around that conversation.
Oh my gosh.
No picnic or pass. We got the booty massages. We got the whatever y'all picnic or pass y'all send me. It's gonna be catered to the whole night. The whole night is gonna be about that. April 2nd. Write it down. That's going down April 2nd. Raw candy conversation about.
Yeah, I'm gonna search out to this store because I stumbled upon this particular business, and when I did the research, I was like, why don't people have this type of? You know what? I think that when next time that we get premarital counseling, somebody asks us for premarital counseling, we're gonna tell them You need to fill out this form. And they probably gonna be like, I don't want.
But this can't be an all guys conversation. You're gonna have to have.
No, we got it. No, that's what I'm saying. We got. Listen, we bringing the sexes together. Who can handle it? Who ain't afraid to have a conversation, open, honest dialogue. We dialoguing. It's not an argument. We just talking.
Mama Lois, did you say you stumbled upon a sex store?
No, I said it was a what?
Say you stumbled upon this store.
No, there's it's a place called T-Pain's Business. T-Pain has he goes to different businesses, startup businesses, and he's deciding whether he wants to be an investor. And there was a particular business, and this particular business I thought was pretty awesome, and it had a but a survey that you fill out for each partner is supposed to fill out the survey of what they like. And I said, man, we should have that survey for premarital counseling. Anybody who, premarital counseling, let them know, look, if you're talking about going into a relationship, you should at least know what it is your person likes, or at least if it doesn't say like, shows interest in. So then you at least familiar without, and then you can have the conversation. Baby, you checked on here that you like blah, 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 or that you're interested in this. So shall we do the research together?
I wish I hate to say it, but I'm going to say it anyway. I wish I liked marital counseling, but I don't. Premarital counseling. I don't like it.
Okay.
Did you ever do it?
Hell no. If I had known what I know now, I wouldn't have married her. Shit.
Oh.
The more information you give somebody, the less likely they go, man, shit, I ain't following through with this.
You think it's discouraging?
You better keep your mouth closed.
So you'd rather be tricked into it. You'd be like, I don't know.
Well, I guess I'm so old school. I'm 53. I'm old. I just like to learn together and grow together. I don't like to try to figure it all out up front. I just don't like that philosophy in marriage or relationships. Let's grow together. But the problem with that is the more partners you've had, the more experiences you have. That makes that learning together more difficult, because now you know a lot more than I know. And you are expecting me to be up to that level. That goes both ways.
Mm-hmm.
So my wife and I were both naive as hell. And we just learned together.
Well, that worked for y'all, but I don't know if that works for a lot of people.
I mean, that's really the way it's supposed to be.
That's the way it's supposed. You know what?
Well, but if y'all coming from a place, both of you, from naivete, then yeah, that's the way it's supposed to be. But that's normally not what's happening. Most people are coming in traumatized and experienced, and Jesse put his legs. Put my legs behind my neck, and that's what I like. And so, how we gonna work through that?
But how can you learn together if we just said you're scared to talk about it? So how are you gonna learn together? You can't.
And the reality is, for most people, it takes time for all of that to come out,
and it takes trust.
Exactly. It takes trust. It takes years sometimes.
But how much damage gets done?
But how much damage happens within those years?
And right.
The person that you marry is not the same person that you're going to die with. That person changes. You thought you knew him, but
over time.
Yeah, and we expect for you to change. We expect for you to grow. We expect for you to change. We expect for whatever weakness you have, we build on. Whatever weakness I have.
But you guys are talking as men. But if it's a boy, then he's saying, you need to be able to do what Amber's doing on this screen right here. See how Amber is she got her leg around and she's got a couple of extra this and that. Okay, what, sir? You didn't marry Amber, and don't act like you Amber's age.
But
So
but even with that moment though, is if a boy asks that question, the woman has two things she can do. She's either gonna say yay or nay. And if she says nay, his naive ass is either gonna stay and say I accept the fact that she's not gonna do that, and I'm not gonna ask anymore, or his dumb ass need to get up and go.
He gonna find
Decision he's got to make. That's why he's a boy. A man's gonna have the same decision. A man's gonna say, all right, well, yeah, you're not Amber. I can't ask you to be Amber. You know what? Let's try something else. Let's talk about this and let's see what we can do. A man's gonna find a way. A boy's not.
I feel so sorry. Not sorry. It hurts my heart that there are other women like me that would have made different choices if they'd have just had somebody say, you know, had that father figure in their life to say, this young man, I know you like him, but he's not mature. You know, I was engaged one time before I met Mr. Noiz. I would have never been engaged the first time if I'd have been able to recognize that, okay, Kenyatta, if this individual is living at his mama's house and he's all about his mama and he's, you know, everything. I mean, I mean, nothing wrong with a man having a relationship with his mama, but I mean, to the point where he can't make no decisions because his mama is making decisions and stuff. He can't stand on his own 2 feet. Then I'd have been like, oh, snap. This is like what they told me. My father said, this guy is not he's perpetrating right now. He need to go back in, as my grandmother said, back in the hothouse and grow a little longer. Like, you know, the hothouse tomatoes that she used to get. And those tomatoes need to be in there a little longer before you can eat them. And so clearly he needed to be, you know, to grow a little longer because he wasn't ready for what I thought he was ready for.
So we need to put those little turkey things in these boys. So once the little thing pop up,
that's right.
The little turkey thing. That's funny.
That's right.
He's mature.
I appreciated that little turkey thing. That little turkey thing helped me with my first turkey.
Oh my goodness, that's funny. That's funny. I don't have a problem with. Obviously, have a problem with the counseling. I'm definitely pro counseling, and I get what you're saying. Because that the design is that, like, I watched a young couple here this January, I guess, or February, whenever they got married, and that's what they're doing. He was pure of the Lord, and so was she, and they couldn't wait. They was initially scheduled. They met in September, got engaged. They was like, well, we can't wait. Let's get married in March. And then as the days kept piling up toward December, it's like, woo, we need to get married. So they went in and got married in January. So they are discovering each other, free and clear. Like, she's figuring it out, he's figuring it out. They're taking this journey together. So that's the way it was supposed to be. But that's not really the way a lot of people do it. And so if you don't do it that way, it's really difficult to do it the other way. Like, the maturity that it takes to fight through all of the issues and all of the past experiences and all of the trauma, it takes special kind of dudes to do that. So the percentages don't weigh heavily for those marriages who don't uncover and unpack some of the past things. The percentages weigh heavily that those marriages are going to fail.
But each one of us on here as men had to grow through it.
Right.
We were not fully aware of it all before we got married.
Not all. You're right. Not all.
Some things had to be uncovered. Listen, I don't know what a relationship is if it's not built on a struggle. If every day in your marriage is cheesecake and ice cream and pie, if every day in your marriage is easy, then you really don't know if you have a marriage. The bottom line of a marriage, in my humble opinion, the bottom line of a marriage is not the sex and not all of the other things that come along. Do I have a ride or die? Is this nigga, I'm sorry. Is this person going to stay with me through all of my brokenness, all of my issues that I have that I don't know I have that will be uncovered eventually, that I know I have? Is that person going to be with me?
I don't think premarital counseling uncovers all. Well, at least I have not seen it uncover all.
That it does. That's the pretense is that everything is discussed up front.
Let me remove that lie from the equation. That's not true. Premarital counseling does not unveil all of the issues, because some of the issues that are part of your life experience are buried underneath some of the surface circumstances that have happened. So you don't know why this happened. You don't know why you ended up doing this thing.
I agree.
So I don't think, if you're expecting premarital counseling to do that, then you that's not what it's for. But I think you can give yourself a little bit clearer understanding of what you're walking into with premarital counseling. You can kind of uncover some things and go, okay, I see a little bit why you like this, or why you could potentially be like that. And then you at least got a place to stand on in the midst of your journey. But me and Mama Noise have uncovered a ton of things post, in the marriage. None of that stuff, most of the stuff that we've had to deal with has not didn't come out in the marriage. It came out after. Most of it didn't come out before the marriage. It came out in the marriage.
So serious question to you three. And I know your wife's on here.
I need to be on here.
Be as honest as you can.
Oh my.
As your conscience will allow you. If some of the things that you uncovered in the marriage were discovered before the marriage in marriage counseling, would you have gotten married to that person?
I never did marriage counseling, but my answer would still be I still would have married the same person.
I misunderstood the question. So
if some of the things that were uncovered in the marriage.
Oh, okay.
Some of the trauma and things that you had to, some of the brick walls you run up against in a marriage, some of the drama, the things that happen. I don't mean infidelity, nothing like that. It just made the person. Right. If that was uncovered prior to the marriage in premarital counseling, would you still have gone through with the marriage?
Oh yeah. Yeah, no question. Because to be honest with you, if we would have been able to uncover some of those things, we probably could have cut the field on 15 other things.
Well, I got a news flash for you. Most people don't run towards fire.
No, that's exactly right. That's exactly right.
Okay, most people run away from danger. So if I know that that's who you are, if I really understand the depth of your dysfunction, why am I going to go through with the marriage? Because I love you?
But I guess what I'm still struggling with is during your dating process, you should find out at least 80% of that person's dysfunction. You should know that going into it, at least 80% of it.
The problem with that statement is, I agree with you. You should figure a lot of it out. The problem with it is a lot of us don't know what causes us to do what we do. Many people think that they're so individual. I'm an individual. They don't think that their past plays a role in their present decision-making processes. So we think that what we're doing is functional until we get married and realize on down the line, you know what, that was some dysfunctional shit.
But what marriage, what part of the marriage made you see that you wouldn't have seen before you signed that piece of paper? Because if you an asshole, I'm just gonna use asshole as a term. If you're an asshole, you was an asshole before you got married, you was an asshole after you got married.
Yeah,
if you didn't like doing a lot of sexual things, you didn't do it before marriage, you probably still not gonna do it after marriage.
Yeah, but dating, you settle into a different mode in dating than you do in marriage. You're in a different.
Not with the person that you really want to. For the person that you really want to marry, for the person that you really want to be with, you're doing the husband things right then and there to make her become your wife.
Yeah, but you have a different kind of feeling. You still got the butterflies in your stomach. You still got the milk behind you. You're still feeling that love.
But what does signing the paper do that changes that? Other than you signed a piece of paper. You still love her. You love her before you married her. You love her after married. If you live together, you live together before you get married. You live together after you married.
There are days in the marriage you don't quite feel that love thing. You just
There was even when we was going together. I had the same. I didn't like her ass a lot of the times when we was dating. I didn't like her ass a lot of times that we've been married.
well, that's different with you and your wife because y'all dated so long beforehand, right?
Yeah.
You guys were from
But
childhood.
it kind of goes back to should you marry early or take your time to develop into that marriage?
That's a great question.
Because you're both too damn naive and dumb early.
I think we asked this question before. I got married at 24. You got married at what age, Ron?
I was in my 30s.
Mr. Noise?
Oh, 25.
25.
I don't know if there's a right or wrong answer to that.
Because it's all about building. You got to build from the dating to the marriage.
Yeah, I don't know if there's a right or wrong answer to that because I don't know if the success of the marriage is predicated on how long you date, as much as it is your willingness to kind of go back to what we said yesterday, mature as the thing evolves. And if you're not willing to mature and grow and become a better and different and more empathetic, understanding, compromising even in sometimes person, then if you're unwilling to do any of those things, then I'm not sure it's gonna make it anyway. You might be in trouble from the very start of the thing. Like it may not even matter.
But what you would say, it seems like the older you get, the more willing you are to do a lot of those compromises.
I was just going to say that. Most people
just ask the question. I mean, is it older you're willing to do more of those compromises than it is when you're younger?
Yeah. Most people, when they get married because of how a person makes them feel. I feel a certain way with you, so therefore I want to marry you. But the longer you're married, you realize it's not about how you feel, it's really how you make the other person feel. It's more of a give than it is a receive. If both people have that mentality, then both people are giving and receiving.
Right.
But when you initially get married, you don't really get married because of giving. You get married because you think that person is best for you, how they make you feel.
I don't know. Danny says, depending on your age and time, if you're in your early 20s, I would say wait. If you're older, in your 30s or close to that, get married sooner.
It's that maturity. It's that turkey baster, that little turkey thing popping up.
Well, but some people will be in their 40s and 50s and the little turkey thing ain't popped up. Like, you just be like, they just don't want to change. I mean, if a person wants to change and do the work that it requires to be married, then they will change. And then the age, I'm not sure the age matters that much if they want to do the work. But a lot of folks don't want to do it, period. They're just selfish by nature. And they're like, I want what I want.
Well, you are at a different place in life the older you get, hopefully. You should be.
You should be.
Right. I mean, my wife and I are very grateful on one hand that we didn't have our only child until we were 36 years old. If we had our child when we was 24 years old, that child would have had a more difficult life. Because mama and daddy were still trying to figure each other out. We wasn't really ready to be parents. She would have saw a lot more drama of us growing as individuals and as a couple.
Right.
At 24 years old versus what she saw at 36 years old.
And I think, Lord, we said earlier about men. Men are okay being by themselves. No man wants to be alone. So the older you get, the more that alone start to kick in, the more you start thinking, I got to have that. I need that ride or die.
Yeah, and see, I agree with Danny too that we're most are really immature in their 20s. So the concept of marriage isn't strong in our minds. Like it takes a minute. I'm not sure why it kicked in for me as early as it did, other than I probably was doing. I probably jammed a whole lot into a little space, and I was like, "Ooh, this is a lie." I probably didn't get married.
But honestly, dude, most guys will do that. They would cram a bunch of stuff they can cram in their 20s.
Yeah.
To get those experiences and,
Yeah.
and get a lot of that dumb shit out the way, so they're not looking to do a lot of that later.
Right.
Because if you still got that itch at 35 for something you should do back in your 20s, it's not good.
But the only problem with a lot of that dumb shit in your 20s, it follows you through your 30s and 40s.
Right. You find yourself unpacking all that stuff and going, "Why did I do that? That is not helping me right now." So,
but that itch at 35 for something you should have did then is a lot different, though, man.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a bigger impact. It has a bigger consequence.
I agree.
At 35 and 40 than it does at 20.
I say now at 53 years old, I should have been more of a hoe when I was in my 20s.
Is that because you started in your teens first?
I didn't have a big enough hoe phase. I should have had a bigger hoe phase.
That's what the girl said yesterday on the video. She said
most people feel that way if they're honest with themselves. I should have got that shit out of my system a whole lot more.
Hold on, I can't hit none of the buttons, so I just do one myself. Oh my God.
Okay. I guarantee you most women wish they had a little bit more whole phase too when they was younger too.
Why? Why do you need that? Why do you need that? Why do you need a comparison point?
I'm just saying.
But I'm saying, why do you need it?
I'm just saying it's something as you get a little bit older, you say, shit, I should have did this, I should have did that, because I'm at an age now where I can't do it. I should have did it.
Having a whole phase when you're 40 and 50 ain't fun.
Yeah, you can't be doing that. Yeah.
Don't tell AJ Johnson that.
Oh.
Mama Noise, would you agree about women that wish they had a whole phase? Oh Lord, have mercy.
I had a lot of friends that we used to ride together and just hang out together. And I was flabbergasted by some of the activity. So I some of them still haven't gotten the message. Some of them are settled and happily married. So
I'm not sure if you answered my question. If you beat around the bush, I'm really trying to
figure out what that thing is. She is working that thing, boy.
I mean, I'm trying to tell.
Just tell her to log off if you just can't be.
Yeah, log off, Azaria.
Azaria, log off so Mama Noise can speak freely. You're blocking her blessing.
What?
You're blocking her blessing to be able to speak freely.
She's old enough to hear it. Go ahead and say it.
What?
She's old enough.
No, I haven't heard that she's logged off yet. I just think that I don't know if it's something that women in their 20s should do. I guess because see, we fall deep. We fall deep in love and thinking that it's more than that. And then, guys are like, I'm just trying to get broke off. I'm trying to get the hook up. Now, I'm not saying that we don't be looking at men like, dang, I bet he got this or I bet he got that. We have all those conversations and stuff too. But I don't know if you should just be like, trying on dudes like shoes. I mean, I know y'all think that, I mean, that's y'all's thing, saying you want to knock off as much as you can. But I think women, we are the nurturers, and we are like, he just trying to work some things out. He just trying to get his life together. And then you end up doing that for 10 years done gone by. You still sitting around waiting on him to get his life together, trying to do something with his life or marry you or whatever. And then he like, I never intended on marrying you. We just kicking it. And it's like, I don't think it's a wise thing for women to try to play the same game.
That wasn't the question. Because I agree with you. I don't think it's wise for women to do that. I said as women get older, they wish to themselves they had done more when they were younger. Now that they're older, it's a hindsight thing. Not that you actually do it. It's a hindsight thing. And I look back at my life, I wish I had,
have done more in
more activity.
More activities. Just
I think the danger in that assessment is that if you do that, you can do whatever the hell you want to do. But the truth of the matter is that this one, I don't think women have the capacity to enter into a whole phase unemotional. Because to do it, you have to do it relatively unemotional. Like you just got to be like, I'm just here for these nuts, and that's it. And that's not what most women are there for. They're there for something far more connecting. And so, the old church thing of, well, you're creating soul ties. Well, there's some truth to that. To be honest with you, there's some truth to that, because you remember what Ricky did to you. You remember how Ricky made you feel. You remember how Teddy blew you back out in Miami. You remember how you went to Las Vegas and what you did in Vegas, though it has to stay in Vegas. You remember that shit in Vegas. And so now you're going to stand at an altar and act like none of that didn't happen?
Listen, my point is I have a few friends that have only had sex with their spouse. They've never had any other experience.
Right.
And as they've gotten older, they say to themselves, I wish.
That's not how they start that conversation. They say sex,
self.
They say self, and then self say, and then they go into the conversation. You taught us that. Don't change it now.
They wish they had something else to compare it to. Now, I know women that feel that way, and they're grown and kids and living their life, and they're not going back. They just wish they had something else to compare it to.
But
I'm telling you the truth.
I believe you. I'm just saying, as a 52-year-old woman, I'm saying that, you look at life and you say some of that, you're like, man, I wish I could. That was a waste of time. You done. So when I thought I was engaged and I was engaged in my mind, I was engaged and thought that this was going somewhere, and he was going in a totally opposite direction. So I mean that was time wasted. I can't get that time back. So you can sit around and woulda, coulda, shoulda, and realize that you might have dodged some bullets. So instead of sitting around talking about, well, I should have did this, man, that shoulda, coulda got you in some trouble or some jail. Or
you dodged some bullets. But I do want to ask you this. Did you have to mentally and emotionally disconnect from some past experiences once we got married? I'll answer honestly first. And the answer to that is yes, because I can't set my personal experiences and expectations upon your lap and say, well, this is what I'm thinking and this is what I'm expecting. And wow, she don't really do it like this, or she didn't do it like, oh, girl did it. You have to fight through that so that you can have a pure emotional and spiritual and even sexual experience in and of this particular situation, I think. But that was my experience. That's all I can get to y'all.
I've always said you had to unlearn. You had to unlearn what of the past and get to know your spouse and be like, look, okay, this is the way I understand. Because if you don't, I'm learning it. I mean, it's hindsight now, but I mean, can you think about being intimate with somebody that's going through the motions because they really don't know what you like? That's not enjoyable. If you're just going through it, just okay, did you get what you needed? I mean, I keep referencing old girl from Color Purple, but you get up on top of me, you got your business. You met your client. Okay, well then cool. there's nothing else. That's all it is to it. Come on, man. You got to learn what it is that your person likes, your spouse likes. You got to have the conversation.
But Mama Noise, you have to understand though, with sex though, there's always another level up.
Ooh.
There's always more that you can do. And that which you don't know, you just don't know. You don't miss that what you don't know. Only because of your experiences are you saying, man, is this all you got? I mean, I have had I've done it. It's the comparison thing back to Mr. Noise and what he said. If you don't know it, then the fact that you got moist and it felt kind of good at times, that was enough. That's what sex was for you.
It's enough, or you also discover together. Together, you both say, if I've always wanted to try, you have. Okay, well then let's feed that exploration and let's go down that road and take a look at. I always was interested in X, Y, and Z. I don't know about the Z, but I'll if that's what you're interested in, let's give it a try. And the person that you're with should never feel like I'm doing this, but I feel so degraded doing so. I feel so like dirty doing so. If that person feels like that, I don't think you should even go through with that. If that person can't get their head out of the clouds with the feeling like this is a dirty situation or something.
Right. No, that makes sense.
But the dirty part is the good part.
It is the good
Kyrie.
part. He's right about that, Mama.
I'm saying that it's not the good part if the other person doesn't feel like it's good.
No, we're saying the same thing.
I'm just saying, if the person's feeling like they a trick or something, then you like, dang, I don't want you to feel like a trick. Well, if they saying I'm just doing this because this is what you want. You said you like anal sex, and I'm not into that.
Don't we all need to feel like a trick every now and then?
Now that's from a male perspective. Go ahead. If men say, go ahead, turn me out. I want to be a trick. No problem. But if women are like, wait a minute, I don't mind trying to give you everything you want. But see, now that one thing, it makes me totally uncomfortable. Or explore with your spouse why they feel uncomfortable with that. And why they won't.
How many women are willing to have that, do the exploring and talk about it? That's the problem.
That's a good point.
But you could ask all day long.
But I tell you what, it goes back to what Jay was talking about. The security, them feeling like they can trust you with that, and that's not going to be something that you use against them later.
But how do you? So I'm gonna ask that question. We always about trust. We're together. We're married. Trust has to be developed for you as a couple to do that exploring.
You were freezing. I'm
sorry. So you've gotten married.
Now
y'all want to try new things.
What
more trust has to be secure in order for you to be like, okay, let's try this? We always say it's about trust.
Yes.
I think trust is centered also around expectations. So I've never done sexual act A to anybody. And you're saying you've had sexual act A done to you and you've had it done well. So coming into this situation, I'm not probably going to be good at this. But if you are willing to allow me to fail, to get better, to hit what you like, then I'll commit to the process of getting better without you judging me or being frustrated with me in that I'm not good at this yet. That's what I think people mean by saying trust. Like I've never done this thing. And maybe I try this thing or I let you try this thing on me once. And if I like it, we keep doing it. But if I don't, we got to stop doing it. That's the type of trust that I think you're building in these moments.
I agree.
I'm gonna add to that, Trust, because I think it's a little bit deeper than that. But I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, I thought the first one was more practice makes perfect, but that's just
Right.
It is.
I think that trust is more along the lines of you are bringing this idea to our bedroom, our marital bedroom, because you have experienced it with someone else, or you are currently experiencing it with someone else. See, just because you get married doesn't mean I fully trust you just yet. I love you, but you have to show yourself trustworthy over time.
Right.
So you wanted me to do this because your last girlfriend did this.
Right.
Your last fiance did this.
Or boyfriend or
Or
whatever.
you wanted me to do this because your current, because I don't know where you are half the time. I mean, that's a real part of marriage. So I want to make sure that what you're wanting to come into our bedroom is pure and not you just trying to continue your freakish behavior that you've had with other people or currently having with other people.
Right. Or like you said earlier, it could be something I saw I'm pouring or I'm interested in. Or my girlfriend told me at the beauty shop, and I was like, well, that sounds like something I might like. You never know.
She must totally trust that that's where it's coming from and not coming from some more bad place.
And by the way, your girlfriend used to do this to you is not necessarily a good place.
Yeah.
Because you married you, not the ex.
Right. So if you think I'm going to do what she did, I'm going to fail right off the top. Or you think I'm going to do what he did, I'm failing right off the top. So it ain't going to look like that or feel like that necessarily. Now, I could get you to a place similar maybe. I don't know. But I don't know.
You know, I'm thinking about a lot of the things that you guys are saying. One of the things in particular that stands out is a lot of women. Now, I'm speaking in general. If I'm ladies in the chat, if I'm incorrect, please help me to stand corrected. Is that we may have had sex before, but I don't know if we've been made love to before. Because you know, it was supposed to be reserved for the marriage covenant, so that it would be love making.
Right.
But if all you having is sex, where you just like, okay, one thing I know for sure is the guy is supposed to reach his climax, but you've never had anybody teach you about reaching yours.
And can I tell you something about what you just said? And this is where it's going to get real controversial. And man, y'all need to come back on April 2nd.
Dude, I'm saying the same thing. This is an April 2nd conversation.
I'm telling you, I need to come back on April 2nd because we going there.
Because my question was
the other part of what the question is this: how do you resolve that? What you like, especially when you have a church telling you that you can't self-explore to find out what you like.
Boom, 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 boom.
Let's end on that because I know that's gonna take us down. That's a whole nother hour's worth of conversation right there. Because the church will tell you in a minute, don't you be judging yourself. Don't do that. Well, okay, and I get why you say it. I get the whole thing.
I don't get
it sure makes it hard when you get married. If you ain't never touched you and anybody else ever touched you right, how do you know what you like?
I don't know how they agree with that. Don't touch. No.
Well,
April.
But Mama knows my question on Saturday is going to be because people need to know what is love making. What is the difference between love making and having sex?
Man,
don't answer.
And my question is going to be for April 2nd. Who's responsible for whose nut?
I'm responsible for my nut. It's called my nut. I'm responsible.
Well, and also, listen, I'm telling you, we're not taught as women how to. We're not taught. We're just not.
Sitting around waiting on somebody else to take you there. You better figure your.
And you know, you got to discover your body so you know when you get it. Look at him taking notes.
Because we gonna forget, we old.
Jay, where are your post notes?
I got post notes. I wouldn't buy me a stack of post notes so I wouldn't forget stuff. This is going. Listen, y'all might need to tell your mama and your granddaddy and your cousin them and everybody you think of. Matter of fact, I'm so excited about the April 2nd show. I'm putting that post up tomorrow, so y'all can start promoting that because I'm telling you, man, that is a topic that we don't have a space for. And we want to talk in the shadows always. And because we're always in the shadows, thank you, sir. Thank you. Because we're always talking in the shadows about that subject that people never get the information.
But it's not only the shadows, though. It's the comedy around it. We would talk about it from a joke perspective.
Right.
More than we would have a serious conversation about it.
Well, you remember we've talked about that on Uncorked Wine. I think the revolution of oral sex didn't change until Def Comedy Jam started making it kind of acceptable. Oh man, any of y'all out here doing this? And then we laughed, but then we also got curious, and it was like,
But they also used their comedy to shame the women who was not doing it to push them.
Well, it's women and men though, women and men. Yeah. You're right.
I feel like my whole.
Go ahead.
My whole.
I feel like we're gonna give away all the goods.
I've always been that, even pastoring, I always have felt like there was a controversial author that wrote a book, and I bought his book, and I was wondering why they kept calling it controversial. It wasn't controversial. He was just straight up saying, okay, this is the way it should be. And I was like, that's the way that it reminded me of myself. So then next thing I know, folks is like, will you come? I'm getting invited to come and teach at these different churches on a subject because everybody tight-lipped. Like, in other words, this ain't for me. This is for other people that may know. And then when me and Lloyd taught the class, I'm telling you the truth, it's not a humble flex. That class was exploding with attendance because folks we allowed them to, and this is what we'll do here too on that April 2nd day, Mr. Noise, because they were able to ask their questions. Now, if you don't feel comfortable with your questions in the chat, you can feel free to inbox any of us on the panel, and we'll be happy to answer your question.
If you got a question that you want asked, are you scared? Hit me up. I asked it.
I mean, and that's been the challenge. The challenge is for all these people, especially who was that said a bunch of backup, but
that ain't what we're calling it yet, but
okay, I was going to say, good Lord.
But it's going to be something similar to that, though.
Well,
we're going to call it 50 strokes.
You should call it uncut.
We're talking post-production. We'll talk about post-production.
But hey, I'm with Mama Noise. Is there a question that you want to ask that you scared to ask because you feel embarrassed to ask it, or inboxes, text me, email, whatever you got to do.
Some of those questions are questions where, even the simplest question. One lady was like, the reason why her and her husband did not have anal sex was because they thought that Jesus would be mad at them. So, do you see what I'm saying?
Why would Jesus be mad?
Exactly. So that's the point.
Jesus
he's up for humble. Okay, they fucking in the ass.
My tallywhacker gonna be mad. What I'm doing going up a Duke shoe for?
Now, Lloyd, I'm gonna try to get that. I'm gonna try to get the voice call working for that Saturday too. So
yeah,
Lord, you want people calling in? Oh,
yeah, it's gonna be a good show. It's gonna be a special show.
If you
April 2nd.
Put your kids. All right, don't have your kids up.
Yeah, put your kids. Don't have your kids listen.
No.
You would have so much explaining to do.
See, we can't drink a whole lot either because I feel like y'all gonna be.
Nah, let's go. The drinking will help.
You drink a whole lot, and y'all gonna be.
That'll take the filter off.
Mama knows.
All right, the 5 is tonight. Want to make sure we get this in real quick. The 5 is tonight.
Yeah.
We're leaving the ACC tomorrow, and then Danielle Thomas on tomorrow afternoon, or at our regular time. So, all right, now we in the final stretch of the show, the goodbyes and all that stuff.
All right.
Mama Noise, always remember, drunks and kids always tell the truth.
That's right. I sent y'all the email. Can y'all please fill out y'all scorecard so we can be ready for a Saturday night, please?
You sent the update?
Okay.
No, not the new one. I sent the other one. The one you already got. Yeah.
Okay.
We just got to do the seating. You know
1 through
what?
16, Mom.
I'm
No,
box
it's
your
1 through
force in.
16.
That's why I don't March Madness.
You're such a.
So
Do not let Lloyd
stop doing that.
do not let Lloyd do your bracket for you. You got to do your own.
Your negativity is bringing the show down.
Oh, fill out my bracket.
Don't let Lloyd do it for you. You got to do it on your own.
Yeah, I'm not doing it. She gonna do it.
Oh, he just needs a little influence.
I'm not doing it.
Because all he gonna do is copy his bracket and make it good.
That's not fair, right? I'm not doing
Not
that.
fair.
I'm not doing that. That's what
Lloyd,
she
let
want
me
me to
just
do.
copy your
That's what she want me to do. I'm not doing it.
Yeah, bow chicka wow wow.
All right, we gotta get out of here.
Yep.
Y'all have a wonderful Wednesday afternoon. We'll see you tonight for the March Madness Pick'em show on the 5, and then tomorrow morning for Believe in the ACC. Until then, that's Cuz Noise. That's the co-pastor slide in. Kyrie, aka Ron. Kyrie put up 60 last night. He was killing it. And that's my
Hey, I want a part-time job too. Shit. I'll be that good on a part-time job.
I know, right? That's a whole nother conversation.
Part-time job.
All right, y'all. We out here. Peace.
We talk.